Hi guys, welcome to the Onefootball Champions League live chat show. It's Wednesday. We've had a couple of games, or more than a couple of games yesterday, and quite a few goals as well. And we'll be hoping for much more today. Again, all the goals, all the action here. But we'll be leading up to kickoff in the next hour or so, giving you all the previewing, all the lineups. I'm joined here by resident Onefootball Champions League expert Oliver Moody.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, looking forward to a great evening of action tonight, I think. We saw some big results already yesterday, lots of goals, as you say, and I think we can expect definitely some big results.
We cannot, however, expect your team to feature, unfortunately, Mr. Moody, because it is Arsenal. Commiserations. My team were there, Manchester United, last year in that situation, having to play in the Europa League. But of course, I'm sorry.
We're going to have this tonight, aren't we? I can tell already. This is what it's going to be tonight, isn't it?
Well, it was a good result for Manchester United yesterday, 3-0. Bit of a bummer with the injury for Pogba. We'll get to that later on. But first off, a little hint for you, because we're going to have a few exciting things coming up today. Nothing more exciting, really, than an Adidas competition later on, where you could stand to win 3 tickets. Yourself and 2 mates could be travelling to a Champions League fixture of your choice. But that's going to come a little bit later. We're of course going to take you through all the results, all the games coming up today. Let us know in the live chat what you want us to talk about, what your thoughts are. We'll of course be keeping an eye every now and then to see what you guys have to say. But we're going to be also having a little quiz, Ollie.
Oh,
and it's going to be Ollie versus YouTube. So you guys, yeah, I'll be the quiz master, and you guys can challenge Ollie Moody. Beware, he is quite knowledgeable on football.
Yeah. I'm ready, Matt.
And you've got a reputation to protect, haven't you?
Oh, good grief! I didn't know I had a reputation, but okay, I've got a reputation to protect, and I'm going to protect it.
Yeah. Well, so let's kick off with the biggest match of the Champions League season. I mean, really, this is going to be the big one for everyone to watch out. Of course, it's Maribor against Spartak Moscow. What do you reckon here, Ollie?
Big game. This is the one we've all been waiting for, really, isn't it? Since the inception of the Champions League, we've all been waiting for Maribor against Spartak Moscow. Think of all those. Think of all these Maribor players that we can both name. And
the one with the hair and the
one with the hair is almost as good as the one without hair. There,
yeah.
I think.
I mean, and then the one with the shoes.
I think look at that suit. That's sharp.
That's a good suit. Yeah, is that the Maribor coach? I think
waistcoat and everything.
This must be a
lovely red kit.
Yeah,
and some Russian names there as well.
Yeah, that's
definitely
probably
Russian names.
Is that Spartak there?
Yeah,
I reckon so. Yeah.
Let's say yes.
Let us know, Spartak fans and Maribor fans. I'm sorry if we're diminishing the importance of this for you guys. Let us know.
Talking about the Slovenian champions and the Russian champions as well here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Max. What's the deal? We're supposed to be experts.
I think you know what? I think they're going to surprise us all by having a massively entertaining game.
6-5.
6-5. Yeah, that would be. Whew, that would. Well, later on we'll test your knowledge on some of the biggest results in Champions League history.
Hopefully the quiz is not going to be about Spartak and Maribor, because if so, you guys who can actually Google it at home have definitely got the edge over me. I know nothing. Well,
we've got a couple of fans here already getting in touch talking about Liverpool.
Of course.
So let's talk about Liverpool. They'll be playing Sevilla, and of course, Ollie, you've got all the matches there in front of you. So let's take a look at what we're awaiting today. We're going to have all these games to look forward to. It's quite a healthy portion of football.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got some great ties in there. Liverpool-Sevilla, the one at the top there, is definitely one that I've been looking forward to. Maribor, Spartak, we talked about all the joys to come for football fans there. City, tricky away tie to start. Shakhtar as well, are going to give Napoli a very tough test, I'd imagine. Porto, team that usually gets quite away in this tournament against a Turkish side who always put up a good fight. Leipzig-Monaco, I think, is going to be a cracking tie.
Yeah,
there's a lot to look forward to there, definitely.
Almost the pick of the bunch if it wasn't for Tottenham Dortmund, in my opinion.
Tottenham Dortmund as well, and of course the debut this season for the holders, Real Madrid. They start off against Apoel, and perhaps we can expect a big score there. But we're going to go through all these games in much more detail over the course of the next hour in the run-up to kick-off. Starting with Liverpool-Sevilla, Max, is it?
Yes, let's talk about Liverpool-Sevilla then. What will the lineup be looking like? Now, every one of you out there who's got a OneFootball app will already know that, of course. But if you are using your phone to watch us, which is of course the best way to enjoy football, you can check the lineup through us. We're going to have a little look into it. If that information has reached us, Ollie, I believe we have. And let's go on the OneFootball website. Hold on. We need to get this up. So let's have a little look. Who is going to be playing?
I can tell you one by one, Max.
Yes,
that's how it's coming up for me.
This is the thing. Of course, OneFootball best enjoyed in app form.
Definitely. So it's Karius in goal.
Loris Karius in goal.
The first thing to say. Obviously, Mignolet's been playing a lot in the league, but Karius starting in goal tonight. Joe Gomez as well in the starting lineup. Dejan Lovren too. A couple of players who perhaps haven't been starting in the Premier League so much.
Well, here Vikas Danda is very confident or shall we say not confident in that back four.
Oh dear.
He's saying Sevilla will win 4-0. Guys, let us know your prediction and let us know what you think about the lineup in the live chat, because Loris Karius in goal, already an interesting choice. Are we going to see Klopp play Karius in the Champions League and Mignolet in the league? Perhaps?
Could be playing with a cup keeper. I mean, they're two good keepers, if not perhaps the level that Liverpool fans would like them to be at either case. But, you know, we've seen Karius do very well in the Bundesliga, and I hope, for one, that he gives a good account of himself. But, of course, it's the attackers that we're really looking at with Liverpool. And Sadio Mane here, who was a bit naughty at the weekend, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's got away with it in terms of the Champions League, of course. He's banned for 3 matches in England, but on the European level, he'll be playing today, lining up alongside Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino. Of
course, we've got to point out, Max, because we're seeing some images of it here, that Liverpool, the only person who got more of a thumping than Edison at the weekend was the Liverpool team.
That's very true. And again, I'm going to have to go a little bit naughty here and say, what does that mean for Arsenal if Arsenal were beaten 4-0 by Liverpool? And then City, I mean, these results, sometimes it's a bit of a fluke. You know, they had a red card.
Bring it up again already.
No, but in all seriousness, they had a red card. I mean, we see here the Sevilla team, who are very competent sides, a few familiar faces there. Stephen Nzonzi, for instance, who used to play in the Premier League, who's carved out a nice little role for himself in that team.
Sure, yeah.
And he'll be playing.
Had a good run in the Champions League last season, of course, Sevilla.
Now, Sevilla, a few new faces for them this season. Kjaer, I believe Simon Kjaer, who it was always a player who seemed to be on the cusp of going into big teams and then never quite managed it on the big stage. But this is the big stage.
I vaguely recall him playing for Wolfsburg for a few years and
rather awful,
being very good at all. This after being linked with a few of the biggest teams in Europe for a while. So, but it's it's good to see him get a chance at Sevilla now.
Jesus Navas, he came in from Manchester City, of course, and Wassim Ben Yedder, a player who's managed to build quite a little. Nice sort of career for himself at Sevilla. He's a very dangerous player. Not your typical forward though. He's quite short.
Yeah, sure, but he was good in the French league before that as well. I think that Sevilla team is pretty dangerous, to be honest with you. I think Liverpool have got to be careful tonight. Back in the Champions League now, they don't want to cock it up at the first hurdle. I'm thinking a few years ago when they were in the Champions League and ended up basically throwing one of their games against Real Madrid because they were already out after the first 4 group games or something like that. And they don't want to be in that position again, do they? Let's be honest. Liverpool want to actually get past the group stage and get back to certainly where their fans think their rightful place is the latter stages of the European Cup and Champions League.
Well, let's take a little look at your comments then, guys. I mean, a lot of you giving in your predictions. Sevilla wins 4-0. We had Vika say earlier. The Ultimate Challenger saying Liverpool will win 2-1. Very much split opinion here, because we've then got a few people saying 2-2, which I think is a reasonably
could happen.
Possible result, especially considering Liverpool's defence being quite weak. But let me try and do my best. I'm sorry if I mispronounced this. Yeyuvendra Shisodia. I hope I got that somewhere near right. But he's saying Liverpool 2, Sevilla 4. Not confident in that Liverpool back 4 then tonight. But
maybe it's the keeper. They're not confident.
Yeah, a lot of people going for that 2-2, 2-1 kind of area. Alex Gaming 23 says 2-2 or 2-1 to Liverpool. Mane is, of course, yes, a couple of you asking, yes, Mane is starting tonight, along with Firmino and Salah. That is very much the customary front three that we've seen in Liverpool. What do you make of that front three?
It's such a dangerous front three, isn't it? I mean, I know against City it didn't perform, but you just see the way they tore Arsenal apart. I know Arsenal is a team that's in a bit of crisis at the moment, but still to just rip them apart like they did was excellent football. And the pace that they've got, the footballing brains that those wide players have as well, Mane and Salah, and Firmino's just so good with the ball at his feet. So that's a very dangerous front three. And if they can feed that front three properly, then anything could happen.
Well, then moving a bit further back, I mean, the midfield three, I think we can both agree, reasonably solid with Can, Henderson and Wijnaldum. But then the back four, Matip and Lovren, probably their strongest centre-back pairing.
Yeah, it could be. But, I mean, Gomez at full-back, Moreno I think is pretty dodgy as well.
It's a strange one for me, that, because he does have other options. I mean, yes, you might say, he wants to give... remind me the double barrel name, Alexander-Arnold.
Trent
Alexander-Arnold, that's the one. Too many names
we'll get there in
one. Only two of them fit on the shirt called, of course, Alexander-Arnold. It's a lot of first names. I mean, Trent could arguably be his last name if you kind of used common sense.
Sure, yeah.
But Joe Gomez is by trade a centre-back, as far as I'm aware. I mean, that's where he's played at youth level. And
he's played full-back as well, though.
Yeah.
So I think... I think it'd be okay, but I feel like Liverpool fans will wish that they had better in that position.
But this is the Champions League. Okay is probably not good enough. So a lot of people, not a lot of love for Liverpool. Lakshya Jain, though, says 3-2 to Liverpool. Suyash saying, I think this might just be a draw. So a lot of you definitely looking for goals. Coutinho is not playing, Vikas. He is not playing, and I believe he isn't on the bench. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, he is on the bench. He is on the bench, along with the likes of Milner, Sturridge, the Oxlade-Chamberlain. Mignolet is on the bench, which means he's not injured. So this is a tactical decision to put Karius in. So we got a nice match there, and a lot of you thinking it's going to be high scoring. Let's move on though to the next game.
A lot of big games tonight. We've talked a bit about Maribor Spartak already.
Let's try. I want to see if I can recognise any of these names, because I do apologise for all Maribor and Spartak Moscow fans out there. The second game in our lineup there. Handanovic, is that no, it's not.
It's not Sami Handanovic.
It's Yasmin Handanovic. Interesting, yes.
His sister,
then Milic, Rajcevic, Sula, Vila, Kaba, Vrochek.
Presumably, some of the guys that we're seeing here are the names that you're.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, I don't recognise any of the Maribor lineup per se.
Tavares,
that seems.
Vaguely recognise that one. There's a Kramaric in there as well, not the Hoffenheim one, of course.
Yeah. Fernando. Now, is that Manchester City's Fernando? I don't think it is. Luis Adriano playing though for Spartak Moscow. A man that we do know. And so, guys, if there's any Spartak Moscow or Maribor fans, do let us know. If not, we will move on to the next match.
Give us a shout, for what you expect from tonight's game. Yeah, we have no expectations whatsoever.
Very low expectations, which can only mean we can be positively surprised.
Can you repeat the Coutinho news?
Coutinho, yes. Coutinho is on the bench at Liverpool. He won't be starting, but he is on the bench, which means he is in the Champions League squad. There were murmurings earlier in the week that he might be left out of the Champions League squad. That there was a sort of a January deal to Barcelona in the offing. So Coutinho is definitely on the bench, but not playing. Vikas, is it Vikas? I'm trying to get it right, Vikas. Danda or Vikash? I'm not sure. I'll try again. Thanks for letting me know, though, Vikas. No, I'm getting it all wrong. I'll stop saying your name. If you could get me a phonetic guide, I will try it again. I'm sorry about that, mate.
Let's call him V.
V. I'll call you V. Anyway, so Maribor will skip and we'll move on to Feyenoord Rotterdam against Manchester City. We did see Manchester United yesterday and Chelsea do quite well. Let's talk about Feyenoord first. A familiar face there, Dirk Kuyt, who we know from his Liverpool days.
Not in the starting lineup tonight, though.
Oh, he's not. Okay, no. But he is. I mean, he must be 37 now.
He's an old boy now. But I mean, there's another familiar face in the form of Brad Jones. the former Liverpool keeper, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And this man, of course, will not be playing his, who would have been Jones's opposite number. No. Oh, in fact, he is playing. Sorry,
he is playing.
Edison is,
what a trooper,
in the
Edison.
lineup.
Yeah.
Presumably wearing that protective headgear through the game as well, as we've seen with Peter Cech.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. Let us know, guys, in the chat what you think how this game will plan out.
I think the guys we're seeing on screen now are going to have a big say in it. You know, City's attack. We talked about Liverpool's attack. This one, I think, goes one better even. You know, you've got the two Silvers in there, Bernardo and David. Leroy Sané, this man here, is on the bench. You've got Aguero and Gabriel Jesus up front. Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings, and obviously Pep Guardiola, the tactical mastermind, kind of pushing them on. If this attack clicks tonight, it could get really hairy for Feyenoord, I think.
It could get messy, yeah, I agree. I think, you know, Jesus and Aguero, we all wanted to see them play together up top last season. It does seem that that's the way Guardiola's going.
Sure, I mean, and did you see that assist that Aguero got for Gabriel Jesus at the weekend? That was, he was clean through on goal, and he passed it to Jesus so that Jesus could score. That was a very good sign, I think, for City, that those two can play together, that they can, you know, feed off of each other, that they won't always try to be the selfish striker, the one who gets the most goals, that they can work together for the good of the team.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a dangerous thing for Feyenoord, and some people saying, here, Suyash saying 3 or 4-0, City have a scary attack.
They do.
Mayaresh saying 1-4 to City seems possible. I agree. Let's see here. What's going on here? A little bit of a fighting at. Subscribe. Yeah, Messi and Ronaldo having a little embrace. See, if you subscribe, that might just happen. Yeah. So
we can't promise it.
We can't promise it, but
might
it
happen.
might happen. Yeah. So do hit subscribe on the YouTube on our YouTube subscribe button to get all the latest football news, whether it's transfer news, predictions, scouting reports, all that kind of stuff, in all the best footballing content on YouTube, and of course this man every week on Fridays, I believe.
Fridays, yeah.
Yeah, Fridays. Ollie Moody bringing you the
the last one we had was about
stories.
Jadon Sancho moving to, of course, Manchester City. Very exciting young prospect. Could be the future of England's attack. So definitely check that one out, and all our other video content as well, because there's lots of good stuff on there. Yeah,
hit subscribe, guys. Now, a lot of you saying who are City. Well, Ultimate Challenger wants to know who is City playing. They're playing Feyenoord Rotterdam, the Dutch champions from last year.
Unless he means who are they playing, as in who's on the pitch, who's going to be starting. In which case, I can tell you that it's going to be similar to the weekend. Aguero and Gabriel Jesus starting up front, the two of them. The two Silvers, Bernardo and David. And Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings. Now, he was absolutely masterful at the weekend. He got assists for the first couple of goals, I think another one later on. Aguero and Gabriel Jesus both brilliant as well. 3 goals between the two of them. Behind them, we've got Fernandinho holding the fort in midfield, making sure that with all those attacking players that the defence still has some cover. That defence is Stones, Otamendi, Mondi and Kyle Walker. And behind them, of course, Edison, the man who miraculously has recovered from that absolute clattering from Sadio Mane at the weekend. So it's a strong City team. We saw that Liverpool maybe have rested a couple of players, perhaps, or they've made a couple of changes from their team at the weekend. City have gone very strong with this.
Yeah, they have certainly, and it could be messy tonight. The Ultimate Challenger saying he loves Onefootball. Well, we love you too. So let's. I want to talk about one person that has really impressed me with City. It's Mondi, who has impressed me a lot on Twitter. You can obviously
which is
follow,
where it really matters.
That's where it really matters. You might have seen their Twitter handle. Of course, you can follow us both on Twitter and follow Onefootball on Twitter. But if you want to get some banter straight from the City dressing room, I recommend following Benjamin Mondi, because he's quite scathing in his assessment of his own teammates sometimes.
He's a good laugh.
But on the pitch, I've been really impressed. I mean, last weekend particularly, he looked really dangerous. He looked exactly like the type of fullback that Pep Guardiola likes to have in his side. And he's a big guy. I mean, he's not...
very physical.
And so also good perhaps for corners and standards and all that kind of stuff. But they're looking very dangerous, City. And I think they'll get a one of the big titles this season, be it the Premier League, maybe even the Champions League. A cup is also in there for the taking. I think they'll be right up there.
Yeah, I think they could win a couple of trophies this year. If Pep can really get that team, you know, fuse together, if he can get them all linking up well, I think that could be very dangerous for not just other Premier League teams, but also for the European teams in the Champions League. We'll see it tonight, perhaps with Feyenoord, and who knows after that. I think they've got a fairly okay kind of group, with Napoli and Shakhtar Donetsk being the other teams there, I believe. And I think City will come through that group unscathed, and I think they could make it a very long way. I think they are definitely among the favourites for the title this year.
Yeah, well, we're going to move on to Napoli and Shakhtar in just a moment. I just want to respond here. Will Grigg, I don't think it's the real Will Grigg, by the way, who is still on fire, and the fire department should really do something about that. Dirk Kuyt is retired. You are right, I completely forgot. I do remember Dirk Kuyt getting a little nice goodbye party from Feyenoord. At the ripe old age of 37, he has called it quits. One thing I do remember about Dirk Kuyt is that he used to say that once a year he gets a chiropractor to come in and crack every bone in his body. He was a bit of a nutcase, that guy, but I've got to love him for it.
I don't think he means literally crack.
No, but the sort of, there we go.
Yeah.
Reece Gregory, by the way, saying Salah is as bad as Tom Davies at Portsmouth. Not quite.
Come on.
But yeah, let's talk about who we're talking about. Shakhtar Donetsk and Napoli. Donetsk, of course, not playing in their customary stadium. We'll talk about that in a second. But Napoli, a strong side by my reckoning.
Yeah.
Not a side I see in the semi-final, but you never know with them because they've got quite a few handy players. Dries Mertens being one of them, who is, funnily enough, not starting today. Pepe Reina, who we're seeing there, he's in goal. We have Hisaj, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Raul Albiol Koulibaly and Fauzi Gulam. And then we have Piotr Zielinski as well, Diawara, Hamsik, Callejon, Milik and Insigne. Here we see Shakhtar Donetsk's players, among them, of course, Tyson, Fred, Schörner, who is still playing, who is, unlike Dirk Kuyt, still plugging away, especially as a fullback. I mean, what a player. He has...
he's a legend, isn't he, Schörner, for that team, yeah.
And I thought he had the number 11 all the time. I think he might have just swapped it for Marlos this season. I don't know if that's the case. I do remember him being having the number 11. But we see here Shakhtar Donetsk kicking off against Napoli. Well, let's talk about the big, the high-profile change in the lineup there. We have Dries Mertens, Napoli's most dangerous striker, on the bench. Arkadiusz Milik, who used to play for Leverkusen and then Ajax Amsterdam, he is going to be playing in his stead, and Insigne Callejon will be flanking him, I presume, as a front three. What do you make of that, Ollie?
Well, they've got a lot of dangerous players, Napoli. You just mentioned Insigne and Callejon. Marek Hamsik as well, of course, from a bit deeper. They've got a lot of players in there who can do some damage. Shakhtar, on the other hand, they typically have relied upon South Americans.
Yeah, they've got a few of them in the starting lineup.
Yeah, Bernard, I think, is still there, the guy who a few years ago for Brazil, I think at the Confed Cup, the last Confed Cup, of course, not the one we've just had, looked very good for Brazil, sort of quick, nippy kind of winger.
Tyson, Marlos, Fred.
Exactly. So they've still got some decent players in there. They've still got some good sort of South American flair. I think Napoli are going to be too strong for them though, and I think Napoli have got the much more sort of solid lineup. They've got the players who are playing week in, week out in a very good league in Syria. And of course, you mentioned the turmoil in Ukraine. With Donetsk having to move stadiums because of the sort of conflict there, there's got to be something that affects players as well. In their living situation as well as in their playing situation.
Well, let's move on because we've got a few people here in the comments saying no one is interested in that match. Skip it. So we will oblige and of course move on to former champions FC Porto. We just saw there Mourinho and Iker Casillas, who is their goalkeeper. Not the most trustworthy goalkeeper in my opinion. He's been on the wane for a few years now. I know he's a legend for Real Madrid and Spain, but I think he's past his best. But plenty more players at FC Porto to make up for that. And on the other hand, Besiktas, what great support they have, and a couple of familiar faces there, including Pepe, who's going to be playing there for them tonight, and Quaresma, of course, another Portuguese, Ryan Babel, who people might remember from his Liverpool playing days.
Ajax.
Yes, Ajax as well, that's right, yeah. And less so Hoffenheim. He did feature for them.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better, though. He did not have a good time with it, did he?
Yeah.
So a few sort of big names in there. But again, I think the home team, Porto, it's a team that generally will make it through the group stage, will generally make it to the latter stage of the tournament. Perhaps not the sort of semi-final or whatever, but usually you see them in the last 16, maybe in the quarterfinals as well. Being at home as well, I think they'll fancy their chances tonight. Yeah.
Well, let's just remind you quickly that obviously we're going to keep previewing all the games. Let us know in the comments what you think will happen, what you make of the starting lineups, who's been dropped, who's been brought into the first 11. But we have got lots more coming up for you. We've got a quiz that's going to pit you guys against this man, Ollie Moody. YouTube versus Ollie Moody coming up later. And also, there's going to be the chance for you to win tickets to a Champions League fixture of your choice with Adidas. You and 2 mates will be able to go to one of the Champions League fixtures that they're offering for you, and you can choose from that one. Shall we just go through that then for a second? We'll do that a little bit later, yeah? So stay tuned for that, guys, because you will have the chance to win Champions League tickets. More details on that later. But let's just move on to the next fixture, which is a real tasty one, I think, and I'm interested to know what you guys think about it. So get typing, let me know what you think is going to be the result in today's arguably the biggest clash apart from Tottenham Dortmund. It's RB Leipzig, Champions League debutants, against AS Monaco. We see a smug-looking Ralph Hasenhüttl there and a rather dynamic midfielder by the name of Naby Keita. We'll have to see, though, if he's in the starting lineup today. Yesterday, he had to skip training because he wasn't feeling too well.
I can tell you, Max, that he's not in the starting lineup. And in fact, it's Diego Dema and Stefan Ilsanker starting in the centre. Timo Werner there we see has been excellent in the Bundesliga so far this season. He scored a great breakaway goal on Friday night against Hamburg. And he's insanely quick. He's a very good finisher at such a young age as well. He's definitely the danger man for Leipzig tonight, along with players like Sabitzer and Forsberg and Yusuf Poulsen, who's not got a great goal record, but does a lot of good work for the team.
Well, I agree with you with Werner, and I think Leipzig have done really well this season. I mean, look at Monaco here. They've lost half their team, you could say. Mendy, Kylian Mbappe, who we're seeing here, leaving, and pretty much everyone but Thomas Lemar and Fabinho, I believe, who's still there. Is he still there?
He's still there, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a real tough transfer window for Monaco. I mean, the wallet's looking healthy, but the team, not so much. Talking about Leipzig, though, again, I think they've done really well. They signed Kevin Campbell, a nice little addition in midfield from Leverkusen. And on the other hand, you have players like Augustin, who came in from PSG.
On the bench tonight, though.
On the bench, yeah. Bruma as well, who I think is also on the bench. And both those players very much suited to the way Leipzig play, that sort of front four that they have. And outgoing Oliver Burke and Davy Selke, 2 players who didn't really fit into that mantra.
Exactly, yeah. Didn't really fit in and weren't getting that much game time, weren't getting what they needed, basically, to progress, because Zelka in particular is still a young player. I do have to take you to task a bit on your comments about Monaco there, though, Max. I mean, you've forgotten about Falcao.
Of course,
who has started the season in excellent form. They brought in Yuri Tielemans as
very
well.
True.
Very good young player from Anderlecht, I believe they signed him from. João Moutinho is still there.
They
obviously, midfielder with great pedigree. So this Monaco team is still very good, even if they did lose a few players in the transfer window. They make great money out of that as well, obviously from Mbappe especially. And so I think this is still a dangerous team. They've started the season very well as well.
Well, so you've got a point there, Ollie. I mean, Stevan Jovetic only making the bench, a new signing from theirs. They have been gutted, but they will survive. They will plug on. They might not win the French title because PSG are looking rather dangerous, averaging 4 goals a game in the league at the moment. And yesterday, what was it, 5-0?
5-0, Celtic's biggest home defeat in Europe, I believe. Wow. But when you've got a front 3 of Cavani, Mbappe, and what's his name? That Brazilian chap sold for quite a lot of money in the summer.
Neymar? Paymar?
I forget.
Like that.
If you guys know, let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. It's something like rhymes with Jamar.
Yeah, it's something like that. Anyway,
yeah.
But yeah,
not
when you've got a front three of those guys, you should be winning every game in the French League 4-0.
Yeah, and I mean they're all firing. Cavani, Neymar, and Mbappe. Oh, I've given it away here, guys. It is Neymar. They all have been firing, so it's looking pretty dangerous. I mean, Mbappe looking pretty much at home after just, I think it's 2 weeks he's spent there.
Cavani goal as well yesterday, the header. Oof.
Very true. Well, let's see what your predictions are. Lakshya saying Onefootball, lots of love right back to you. Monaco 1-0. 2-1 Monaco. A lot of people here saying Monaco to win, but Werner to score.
Even though Leipzig have got the home advantage. That's a big call.
Yeah, well, we've got Mayaresh saying 2-1 to Leipzig. A couple of you, another one, 3-1 to Monaco, 2-0 to Leipzig, says Super Bro. It's a tricky one to predict, I think, because Leipzig an unknown quantity. You know?
Wonder if maybe with Leipzig, the fact that this is their European debut and that a lot of their players haven't played in Europe before, not just the club as a whole, but a lot of those players will be making their European debuts. So I mean, there could be nerves on the big stage. There could be issues on that front, but I think they'll be okay. I've got a lot of time for this Leipzig team. Well,
if you've got a lot of time for Leipzig, you might want to go see them, and if you've got a lot of time, not over there. Check out the one. I'm a master at this. Here you go. Check out the Onefootball app and check out how you can win our Adidas competition, the UEFA Champions League experience. I have all the details here on my card. All you need to do is be 16 years of age or older, and then you could, if you live in the UK, Spain, Italy, or France. I'm afraid we have to limit. Well, we don't. Adidas have limited it geographically. I have no affiliation to Adidas whatsoever. Not interested. But yes, you have to be over the age of 16 and live in either UK, Spain, Italy, or France. And you could win flights, accommodation, and tickets to see a Champions League match. So basically, you choose a group stage match between the certain dates. Get your pens ready or your keyboards ready. 17th of October to 6th of December. So anytime between then, you'll be able to pick a game of your choosing if you are the competition winner. So you get 2 nights of accommodation. You enter the competition via the app, which is here. So if you don't have the Onefootball app, download the Onefootball app.
Get it now.
It's free. It's completely free. I've got it as well on my phone, be it Android or iOS, whatever is your preference, you can download the app and then you can enter the Adidas competition. And as I say, over 16, living in the UK, Spain, Italy or France, you could enter and win Champions League tickets for yourself and 2 others. Flights and accommodation, it's all included. What a weekend that would be.
Max, are we entering this competition?
Oh, well, I mean, it's obviously going to be rigged so we win. No, well, we can't enter, unfortunately, but we will we will be hoping that one of you win, and we will hoping that these two perhaps kiss. No, that's Messi and Ronaldo here, as you can see, urging you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So if you want more Onefootball in your life, don't just get the app, also subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can see all sorts of footballing news, infos, discussion, transfers, you name it, we've got it on YouTube here. And of course, the live shows like this one, so you can get up to date with all things Champions League. We're about approaching up, we've got about sort of 20-25 minutes till kickoff in the game, so we're going to plug on.
Haven't talked about all the games yet, Max, have we?
Yeah, we haven't
given you all of our previews yet, so.
We haven't talked about this one team. I think they just won the Champions League back-to-back.
Champions League back-to-back for the first time ever that anybody had ever done that.
In the Champions League era, and the only other team to do that, no, not the only other team, but they have done it before when it wasn't called the Champions League. But let's take a look at some of their players here. They're looking rather pleased with themselves.
That guy Isco in the front row there is doing very well at the moment, isn't he? The way he's turned his game around. This guy too, who won't be playing, I believe. Yeah,
do you guys know why he's not playing? Because it's a rather embarrassing story. If you do have the Onefootball app, you might have seen earlier on in the day that we sent a little message around. We see here Ronaldo and Marcelo, but Asensio, who's such a great player, is not a great shaver.
Not a
we
great
have heard.
shaver.
Yes,
No.
there's more behind this. I will explain. Here we see some of the lesser-known Apoel Nicosia players doing a dab, though, so endearing themselves to the fans right away. But no Asensio in the starting lineup. We'll take you through the starting lineup in just a second. But when I say he's not a good shaver, he was shaving, and he has now got an infected pimple. Onefootball's own Ian McCourt reporting in the app earlier. So for all you app users, you guys will have heard, maybe read of this. Let us know in the comments what you think about. Shout out to the King 12345, by the way. Ultimate Challenger just subbed. He says, wonderful, wonderful. Subscribe for Messi, says Lakshay. It's working. The plan is working.
All Messi all the time. That's us.
Yes. Here we go again, guys. In all its glory.
Bringing them together at last.
Yeah.
After all
subscribe to the YouTube channel.
But yeah, Asensio. I mean, let's talk about this because it's kind of ridiculous.
Absurd.
He was shaving his legs, and he must have done a pretty botched job of it because it got infected somehow. He got a pimple that got infected, and now he can't play football because he shaved his legs.
Madness.
I mean, there's hope for the rest of us though, Max, because all right, I can't kick a ball like Asensio can, but I can shave without getting an infected pimple. So that makes me feel like I'm better than a professional footballer.
I mean, one thing that strikes me is, you hear all these stories of players playing through injuries and stuff. Surely an infected pimple is something that you could possibly play through. Don't you just put a bit of cream on it or something?
Have you ever had an infected pimple?
I don't know. No, I haven't.
And if so, where?
I think I've had an ingrown hair. I'm not sure.
It's probably not the same thing, is it?
The doctor said it was fine.
Where was that?
It was. It was here actually. It was right there. Yeah. Thanks for that, Anthony. Anthony, our producer, just prompting me to tell you exactly where the ingrown hair was. But Suya saying, subscribe for Lime, even though he is retired. Any reason to subscribe is a good reason to subscribe. Matt, we're going to get to your question in just a second. I just want to see if you guys can let us know. Hayden Stimson has just subbed, and he deserves a shout out. Of course you do, Hayden. For anyone who subs, we'll get a shout out. Yeah, we'll just make that an official thing now. I'm going to be. I hope I'll be inundated with so many people to shout out.
That's going to be the rest of the live chat.
Yeah,
today.
Excuse my pronunciation if I don't get your name right. By the way, we will talk about Matt. Matt wants to know about Ousmane Dembélé in a second, but let's just talk about Real Madrid then for a second. While we're at it, Matt, just let us finish on that one. Navas in goal, Carvajal, Nacho, Ramos and Marcelo back four. Again, not much to talk about.
Pretty standard, yeah.
Modric, Casemiro, Kovacic in midfield. No Kroos.
Okay.
Maybe getting a rest.
Maybe giving them a break, yeah. Because otherwise it's a pretty strong lineup that they've got there.
Front three, we've got Isco, Ronaldo and Bale.
I mean, Isco has been excellent this year, as I said. If it wasn't for Asensio coming through, I think everyone would be talking about Isco a hell of a lot more than they are at the moment. Bale is not quite on the same page on that front. He's had a bit of a difficult 6 months, maybe even a difficult year. You'd have to say difficult time at Real Madrid generally, despite them doing so well. But he's still obviously a very good player. We've seen what he could do at Tottenham. He's done a lot at Real Madrid as well. And then there's the big man, isn't there, Ronaldo, who isn't playing in La Liga at the moment because he shoved the ref and got a long ban. But that means he's just nice and rested for the Champions League. So lucky Apoel.
He'll be fresh as a daisy.
Indeed.
Of course. It's time to do some shout-outs, Ollie.
Oh, here we go. Go on. How many subscribers have we got?
The Ultimate Challenger has subscribed. You deserve a shout-out, of course. Thank you so much for subscribing. We have got XX Ray XX who has subscribed. Great name there. The King 12345, who has subbed earlier, I remember your name, asks, is Coutinho playing? He's not playing, but he's on the bench for Liverpool. Andrew said he unsubscribed and then resubscribed. Cough. So you do get a shout out, but please don't do that. It's just going to get, because what if you forget to resubscribe? We'll give. I can't give everyone a shout out. I'm sorry, but thank you, Andrew, for getting involved.
Max Merrill going back on his promises.
Oh, I'm sorry. Benzema, some people here, including the Ultimate Challenger, recent subscribe to Onefootball YouTube. Ross McCollum also subbed. Thank you very much. 29 skills, Ross McCollum. But they're asking, why is Benzema not playing?
Well, you know, I mean, Real have got so many good players. They can't all play at the same time. They've got 3 really good players out there on the pitch. Maybe, like we were saying with Kroos, maybe he's just getting a bit of a break. I know that Varane is fit again now after, I think he had an adductor injury. He's not in the starting 11 either. So, you know, with a team like Apoel, who, no offence, nowhere near Real Madrid's level, I think it does make sense for them to give a couple of players a break, give a couple of players who aren't getting into the first team otherwise a chance. And, you know, Real have not been doing particularly well in the league recently. 2 draws.
5
2 home
points
games.
from 3 games. Very poor.
Slipping 4 points behind Barca already in the table. And so maybe Zidane just wants to change things up a bit, throw a few new players in there, just see if that can spark a bit of life out of them. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, Benzema, I can tell you, is not even on the bench. He's nursing a little injury, but says he will come back soon. That's according to his Twitter yesterday. So I wasn't aware of the fact that he was injured. I'm guessing it's a short injury. We've got lineups now for you for another big fixture in today's Champions League. The last one that we haven't previewed yet, which is Tottenham, who are hosting Borussia Dortmund. A real tasty match, I think. Two very attacking teams that you can enjoy watching, who probably won't be parking the bus tonight. So for Tottenham in goal, Lloris, and I don't know if this is a debut, but it's certainly one of the first few games for Serge Aurier and right back. We saw Sanchez, who arrived from Ajax Amsterdam, start on the weekend as well. But the big thing is the Wembley hoodoo for Tottenham. They're playing Wembley. Mopo again and again telling us it's no big deal.
It's not a thing.
Again and again, we don't believe you, Mopo. Harry Kane has finally scored, though, in the league after August, proving once again.
After you swapped him out of your fantasy team, mate?
No, I kept him in. I stuck by him, and he finally gave me some points. He was captain the whole time. Sissoko not playing very well, and Sissoko quite deservedly back on the bench today. Dele Alli, though, he's not in the starting lineup. Sorry, he's not in the squad.
Even Dele Alli. So I'm not sure what that's about. Is he injured, or is he just? I mean, it'd be a surprise on the weekend. It'd be a surprise to rest him against a team like Dortmund. We see some of the players there, you know,
maybe like, niggling a little
Pulisic and Götze, Aubameyang, who we saw a second ago. Like, you know, these are top level players.
Yeah, Pulisic in the starting lineup. Götze isn't.
Götze isn't. No, okay.
So we've got. Let's go through the Dortmund team. Then we've got Berkey in goal, Piszczek, Socrates, Toprak, and Toljan in a back 4.
Is that another debut for Toljan?
I believe it is.
So
Toljan.
2 full-back debuts.
Very talented,
full debut, perhaps.
Yeah, very talented right back who.
Because Schmelzer got injured, didn't he, at the weekend?
He did. 3 injuries for Dortmund on the weekend. So the international break wasn't a happy break for Dortmund. 3 players missing as a result. Piszczek, Schmelzer, and Bartra among them. So the defence, obviously a bit of a reshuffle. Toprak coming in and Toljan coming in. Very talented right back who they managed to snap up from Hoffenheim in a swap deal. Mo Dahoud in midfield with Şahin and Kagawa. And then what I'm guessing to be a front 3 with Yarmolenko, Aubameyang and Pulisic. Or Pulisic. Which one is it?
He says Pulisic.
Pulisic. Well, we'll go with his. Well, we'll go with him. And,
Yarmolenko, of course, another new signing.
Yeah.
So the top rack, we've got Toljan and we've got Yarmolenko. So we've got a few of the new players from the summer. And Dahoud, of course, that signing was so long ago now, I'd almost forgotten it was a summer signing.
A canny signing though, wasn't it?
Very canny signing, yeah.
Dortmund, before Dembele had was even thought to be leaving, they had already signed Maximilian Philipp, Dahoud, so and Toprak as well. Zagadou followed, who's on the bench tonight as well. So
Philipp not in the starting 11 tonight.
No, he's on the bench.
That's still a pretty good front 3 there with Yarmolenko, Aubameyang, and Pulisic. So here are the fixtures again. We can see them all here, tonight's games. A few big ones in there, as we've been saying. Liverpool-Sevilla, I think, is one that a lot of us are looking forward to. We had a lot of predictions there with lots of people actually betting against Liverpool, which is an interesting one. You often don't see that. Leipzig-Monaco, I think, is the one that me and you are looking forward to most, Max.
Yeah, very much so.
From a Bundesliga point of view, it's interesting seeing RB in the Champions League for the first time ever. And Monaco, how will they fare without some of the players they lost this summer? Real making their first appearance in the tournament this year, and Tottenham-Dortmund, definitely another big game in terms of 2 very evenly matched teams. 2 teams that play quite similar brands of football. I think Dortmund perhaps a bit more attacking, Tottenham perhaps a bit more defensive. but both very good attacking teams, both very talented as well. So I think those perhaps are the games that we are going to be looking out for most.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah. Leo, guys, just less than 15 minutes till kickoff. Do stay with us. We'll be here all the while through the matches, so you can have a little look at how how we're reacting to the games. We'll be watching them alongside with you, and we will be looking at the live chat. And the ultimate challenger here saying best feeling when Onefootball are looking at the live chat. Well, we'll continue looking. We will be reacting to what you guys have to say. So if you guys want to share your views, let us know what game you guys will be watching or what game you're most excited about. The ultimate challenger saying Borussia in their game against Tottenham will be drawing 2-2. Hanan Mumud, he subbed, so shout out for you as well. Of course, Bruno Oddi as well. XX Ray Ray XX. Meh. I've already shouted you out. I can't do it 2, 3, 4 times. Name. Yeah, I remember that one. Jack Tilson wants some music in the background. What? We're not interesting enough? Come on.
The lyrical sort of sound of our voices.
Yeah. We've got a little lilt. What do you think the City scores will be, and where do you think they'll finish? Asks Ross McCullum.
The City score tonight. I think they're going to win 3-0. I think they're going to pretty much run Feyenoord over and have a decent time of it tonight. And I think they're going to definitely make it to the latter stages. I think they'll probably make it to at least the semi-final, maybe even win the whole thing.
I back you on that one, yeah. I don't know if they'll win it. I'll back you on
Man United fan here saying City won't win it. Wonder why, eh?
Yeah, well, Arsenal fans saying that. What are you saying, actually, Ollie?
Here we go again.
I'm sorry, Ollie. To be honest with you, Manchester United were in the same position last season, so I'm not one to talk.
Okay, yeah,
really.
It's trying to make it up to me now.
Manu Tosh also subbed. Manu, good on you for subbing. Cab the Gamer subbed. Matt Steck saying he loves how we interact with the chat. Well, that's what we're there for, Matt. We'll be staying all the way through the games with you until after the games. And do stay with us because we've got 2 exciting things coming up. Of course, we have got a quiz for you guys. And it's for you because it'll be you guys against this guy. So YouTube versus Ollie. It'll be a true or false. So,
I am scared.
Just when the time comes in the live chat, just let me know what you think, true or false, and I'll sort of see what the majority of you guys are saying. We've got a very embarrassing quiz graphic of me looking like like an absolute fool, and I did not approve this.
I've ever seen.
Yeah. I don't know where this picture. I have a sinking feeling where the picture is from. Here it is.
Here it is.
Fact or fiction?
Ta-da!
With me.
Look at that. Glorious.
Yeah. I didn't commission that. That just happened.
Have you still got that jacket?
That's not even my jacket. That's Photoshop.
Right, yeah. Okay, here we go. The excuse is coming out already.
But City 3-0 says ultimate challenger.
Changing the subject.
Hanan Mahmood. I did shout you out. You got, but I'll shout you out again. Awais Ahmed. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. What team do you support? XX Ray XX asks. I support Manchester United in England. I'm half English, half German, so I'm allowed to have 2 teams. I support Manchester United.
He picked badly in both cases.
Oh, come on. My dad's an Arsenal fan, actually, but he didn't do enough to convince me.
What happened? What went wrong?
Tell you what, one big thing that happened when I was young was I watched Arsenal against Manchester United with my dad, and he said, look, Arsenal is who you're supporting. So I looked at the Arsenal team, and there were all these marvellous players, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, Laurent, and so on and so forth. And then I looked over to Manchester United, and there were all these players that I knew. So David Beckham, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, these sort of players, and I thought, why am I... I support them when I support England, so that's how I kind of really connected with Manchester United. And I really like Fergie, but I've got a lot of respect.
This is how Brexit happened.
Misinformation. No, I've got to say, I've got massive respect, dwindling respect for Arsenal. I do have a soft spot for Arsenal because of my dad being a supporter. And the man to the right of me, to the left of your screen.
More than a soft spot for Arsenal, unfortunately.
Yes, he's got a massive something for them. It's Ollie Moody who loves Arsenal. The Gunnosaurus is his favourite animal.
Yeah. Extinct, I believe, soon.
A dying breed. So you've got an Arsenal supporter here and a Manchester United supporter myself. And here
we've got Ronaldo and Messi again. Those guys.
Isn't
that
that
lovely?
Don't they? Subscribe to the YouTube
channel. This is
what
Onefootball does, bringing people together.
We've got...
So are we going to do this quiz, or what? Because we've only got a little while now until the
Shall we do the quiz?
Games kick
What
off.
do we think? Are we going to see the jingle again? Are we going to see...
Let's do it. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready for you guys.
Yeah, lovely.
Ta-da!
Fact or fiction? With me! Lovely. Okay, well, we're going to bring up the graphics on the screen for you. So the true or false statements. So Ollie against YouTube. So you know what to do, guys. All you need to do is type true or false into the comments, and I'll try and aggregate your guys' score against Ollie's. So Ollie, give him a little time to just write true or false.
Okay.
So is everyone ready? Here's the first question. Ollie and YouTubers of the Onefootball YouTube page. Fact or fiction, true or false? The fastest UEFA Champions League goal, no Googling allowed by the way, I just have to trust you guys. The fastest Champions League goal was scored 10.2 seconds after kickoff by Roy Mackay. True or false?
Blast from the past.
Who will he have been playing for then?
Okay, Bayern, presumably.
In the comments, true or false, what do you think? The fastest Champions League goal was scored 10 seconds after kickoff by Roy Mackay. Yeah, I mean, he played for
I think he was
Bayern.
at Bayern then.
He did play for another team in the Champions League, at least
Dutch
one.
Team, But
Spanish team as well.
Oh, he played for Deportivo, didn't he?
Of
course,
when they were reasonably good.
Day, yeah, with like Valeron and who was the striker? What was his name? I've forgotten. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, so Depor did have a couple of seasons in the Champions League, so it could have been him. 10.2 seconds, pretty quick though.
Very quick.
You know?
Very quick.
Okay, right. I think it was when he was at Bayern though, and I'm going to say true. I'm going to say that. Yes, that's right.
Ollie Moody says true. I'm kind of seeing false is the answer that people are saying on the YouTube live chat. Hold on.
Come on.
They are saying it was Pato. Now, let's see. Was it Pato or was it Roy Mackay? I've just fact-checked us, so I know our answer is correct. It is, drum roll. It's a fact, it's true. 1 point to Ollie. Now, Pato did score a very fast goal, 24 seconds, but Roy Mackay, 10 seconds. I actually saw that goal live, I remember, because I was completely flabbergasted. It was a nice little goal as well. Bayern Munich, they're scoring in 2007 against, help me out, Joe, who was it against? I can't remember. I made you delete it off the slide as well. It was my fault, I made him delete it.
High professionalism here at Onefootball.
Let's move on to question two. Question two, guys. Kickoff is coming up, so fact or fiction? Tim Sherwood, who once coached Tottenham, by the way, and Aston Villa, Tim Sherwood scored a Champions League hat-trick for Blackburn Rovers, of course, not Blackburn Rivers. That's not part of the question. Blackburn Rovers.
False, not Blackburn Rovers.
No, but Blackburn Rovers. So did Tim Sherwood score a Champions League hat-trick for Blackburn Rovers?
Did he?
Back then in the Champions League, he was part of the squad.
Okay. So, I'm trying
True
to
or
think.
false,
Tim
guys?
Sherwood.
Type your question in the comments now.
Now, this was the Blackburn team that, of course, won the league in, was it 95?
Around that time, I'm not sure,
you know, obviously to win the Premier League back then had to be a very good team. But that was still pretty early for English teams getting back into European football, because they were banned, of course, after the Hazel disaster. So, sorry?
Real Madrid were the fastest goal.
Against
Real Madrid.
We're getting some delayed info here. Roy Mackay scored against Real Madrid, right. Okay, so Blackburn, that team, good team, but Tim Sherwood, as far as I remember, was more of a kind of defensive midfield type. I find it very difficult to believe that he scored a hat-trick. I think a Blackburn player did score a hat-trick, but I don't think it was Tim Sherwood. I think it was Mike Newell, and I'm going to say false.
You're going to say false. I'm getting quite a split opinion here from YouTube. Guys, give me some more ones so I can get a trend, because a lot of you saying true, a lot of you saying false. You're saying false.
I'm saying false, definitely.
Oh God, I'm getting more true and falses here, guys. Come on. Next answer is the one I'm going with, guys. Oh, come on. Who is it? Who is it? Aria says false. Away says true right after that. We'll go false. And Ollie is going to go false.
Yep.
And it was false. It was
There you go.
fiction.
See?
And who did you say scored a hat-trick?
I think it was Mike Newell.
You are correct.
Who went on to manage Luton Town.
Blimey.
If I remember correctly.
Blimey.
Yeah,
I mean,
see?
how did this guy, I've underestimated this guy.
Not just a hat
But
stand.
I think the scores at the moment are
1-0. No, 2-1, we're calling that.
2-1, we're
Yep.
calling it. Yeah,
2-1.
2-1 to Ollie. So guys, sharpen up, guys. I know a lot of you said false as well, but you went with false. So I gave you the benefit of the doubt there.
Here we go.
Next question here. Now get ready to type again. Nottingham Forest have won the Champions League, or the European Cup, we should say, more often than they have won their domestic league.
They won a couple of European Cups under Brian Clough. I remember that much. But if we've only got 2 minutes, right?
2 minutes till kick off. Quickly, guys, tell me true or false, true or false. Nottingham Forest have won the Champions League more often.
But back in those days, didn't you have to win the league to get into the European Cup, I feel like? And they haven't won in the Champions League era or recently where it's been expanded. So I feel like to get into the European Cup, they would have had to have actually won the league. So I'm going to say, if it's just the Champions League and the European Cup, I'm going to say fiction. I think it's the same number.
You're saying it's
Or
the
maybe-
same number.
or maybe more
Manny,
than
by the way, is saying that you have a PhD in football. He's very impressed with you. Ultimate Challenger,
Dr.
true,
Moody.
true, true. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to have
like that.
the YouTubers. I'm going to go with you guys. A lot of you saying true. A few of you saying false as well. Ultimate Challenger among the ones that are saying true, as well as LFC Arth. So we'll go true for the YouTubers. You're saying
I'm saying
false. Drum roll, please. It is. Actually true.
No. Disaster.
So
I've
we've
lost my lead.
pulled ahead. Yes. So guys,
No. It's
I mean,
still a little.
even
Right.
Stevens. It's 2-2. Now for the last question, the deciding one. Let's see what we can get up here for you guys. Fact or fiction? Peter Crouch scored the fastest Champions League hat-trick ever. Is that true or is that false?
Right. The question is, who would it have been against?
Let me know in the comments, guys. True or false? Peter Crouch scored the fastest Champions League hat-trick ever.
I had a memory of Liverpool absolutely tanking some team when Peter Crouch was playing, and I think he did score a hat-trick, and I think he did it pretty damn quick as well. He did the robot
He probably
all over the place.
the robot for Peter Crouch.
Thank you for that, Max. I have a feeling that Liverpool absolutely smashed Marseille one season, probably about 2008, something like that, and that Peter Crouch scored a very, very quick hat-trick. I'm going to say that's true. I'm going to say that's a fact.
Okay, guys, I'm getting a lot of true and a lot of false. I need a couple more deciding votes from you guys.
Because it's kick-off in 5 seconds, and
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
to
it's
start talking about the games.
I'm getting a few. Okay, they're going with false. They're going with false. You're going with true.
I'm going with true. Yeah,
Okay, it's
come
the
on.
decider. It's 2-2 on the scores. It is true. No, it's not true.
What?
No, that's wrong.
What?
It's not true.
Hang on.
Wait, hold on. No, that's not true. Peter Crouch.
Guys, come
You
on.
got
Can we,
you. I know that's
Was
not
it true or not?
No, it wasn't true. It's false.
Okay.
Completely false.
Damn it.
You guys, you
Premature celebrations.
YouTubers have won. Very well done, YouTube. You have won because you were right. A French team was involved. It was Bafétimbi Gomis for, I believe it was Lyon actually. Fiction. Here, see, I knew it all along. It was right all along.
Damn it.
Fiction. So you guys have done right. Kickoff has just, we've just had kickoff, and our live stream.
And our live stream has paused.
Oh, our live stream is paused. Yes, we'll get back to you in a second when we have our live stream. No. Do stay with us. We've got all the scores coming up to us live. So whenever we see a score happening, guys, we'll let you guys know. Of course, if you're watching the games, we'll be going through yesterday's results as well. Those are the results there on the screen from yesterday. A lot of goals, as you can see. I mean, huge amounts of goals. Only Roma and Atletico without a goal, with less than 3 goals, in fact. Every game had 3 or more goals. Quite incredible first day of the Champions League. Let's see if it is correct. So quickly, Manny wants to know. Manny, the same guy who said you had a PhD in football.
Prematurely, apparently.
So very, very lots of pressure on you.
Yep.
He wants to know our predictions for Dortmund against Liverpool.
For Dortmund against Spurs or for
Dortmund? He's saying Dortmund Liverpool, but sorry,
Dortmund
Manny, it's
okay.
Dortmund against Spurs.
Let's give our predictions for both of those games.
Yeah, let's go for it. Liverpool are playing Sevilla.
I'm going for a Liverpool win, but let's hang on. Firstly, we've got our pictures of Tottenham and Dortmund here. So I think, look, we've got 2 big teams here, 2 teams that played very well in their respective leagues last season. Harry Kane started firing at the weekend, finally. On the other hand, though, Dortmund, you know, they've got Aubameyang, they've got Pulisic, they've got Yarmolenko in. They've got a decent defence as well to try and hold Kane up. Burki's a good keeper. They've got Socrates at centre-back, you know, top racks experience and so on and so forth. Dele Alli, this man, not playing tonight, obviously not in the team. He's a big goal threat that they're going to be missing, Tottenham. On balance, I think this is going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a score draw, let's say 2-2. I think Aubameyang, I think he'll be on the score sheet, definitely, with his pace. That big Wembley pitch, I think, is just going to eat up the turf. Pulisic there, very good player as well. I don't think they're going to be able to keep Tottenham out for the whole game, but I do think Dortmund are going to come away with a point, and that Wembley hoodoo that we were talking about for Spurs is going to continue for a little longer.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, a damning assessment there from Ollie Moody.
But I'm an Arsenal fan, so what do I know?
Yeah, so actually, I'll go a little less biased then and say, look, juggling MacBooks here, guys. No, obviously other notebooks are available, sticker free or with Onefootball sticker. Here,
very nice.
You can see, very. A little bit more stylish here, this one. Mine's a bit crowded here. But at least it won't get nicked. Or if it does, I'll know which one is mine. You know, someone will go, oh no, this has been mine all along. No, hold on. Anyway, so let us know your predictions. I think, yes we do. We're going to have football.
We've got adverts.
I think 2-1 to Tottenham.
Yeah, so let's just go through the fixtures again. That we've got tonight. Liverpool Sevilla, I think, is one that a lot of us have been looking forward to. Maribor Spartak, perhaps not so much, unfortunately. Sorry to any Slovenian or Russian fans tuning in. Feyenoord Man City, where there's been a goal already, I believe.
Yes, there has been a goal.
Shakhtar against Napoli, the other game in that group. Porto Besiktas, Porto, of course, former champions. RB Leipzig making their debut in the competition against the French champions, Monaco. Real Madrid, the current Champions League champions, against Apoel. And Tottenham versus Dortmund, another one that a lot of us are looking forward to, a very evenly matched game there.
Yeah,
we've got football now, Max.
We have got football up and running, so we can see what you presumably are also seeing, which is ourselves and the football. Double delight, you know, you couldn't have any better. Manchester City have scored, and it is John Stones who's got on the score sheet just 2 minutes in to the game. So here we're seeing, Tottenham have scored! What a goal! And it's Heung-min Son, former player from Leverkusen, my German team, who are doing awfully at the moment in the league. But very excited Tottenham fans. It's 1-0 to Tottenham, 1-0 to Manchester City.
Few minutes. So good start for the English clubs, huh?
Yeah, I mean yesterday 3-0 Manchester United started off, and Chelsea 6-0. Poor Karabakh. I mean it's a tough way to start.
Making their debut, their country's debut in the competition as well. The first Azerbaijani team.
You got to feel for them because that was a heavy defeat. But Tottenham here. Let's have a look at that goal. Then we'll describe it to you.
Breakaway there.
Yeah. Heung-min Son storming down the left, and then he just goes outside and hits it into the near post. And
you've got to ask questions about Burki there, haven't you?
Burki should have saved that.
He's hit it hard, but it's at the right height. You know, Burki can get a hand up to it.
And a high line there from Dortmund, which has cost them because
Socrates not
Tottenham
good enough at shepherding Son out of play there, perhaps as well. And so a poor goal to concede from Dortmund's point of view, but a great goal for Spurs. So good start for the English teams.
Well, let's see how people are reacting to that. There is something from one fan that I cannot read out, but he's clearly disappointed. And a 2-minute goal, Jack says, Lakshya relishing the Man City goal here, and the ultimate challenger is very upset with Lovren. Has anything happened in the Liverpool game? I'm not quite sure if it has happened yet, but he's obviously not very pleased with Lovren's performance so far. I can't see a goal yet. Of course, when we say all English teams getting off to a good start, we had City who've scored early on through Stones, Tottenham who've scored early on through Heung-min Son. Yesterday, United doing well, Chelsea doing well. Liverpool, we'll have to wait and see. They've got the toughest fixture out of all those clubs, I think, apart from maybe Tottenham.
Yeah, I think Tottenham perhaps is a slightly harder game, Dortmund, but Sevilla as well, very good team. So both of those English sides have got tough opposition. And of course, you've just had to read out 5 team names there. It's not often that a country has 5 teams in the Champions League. So the first time I believe that a Europa League champion, just going to grab my laptop back in here from my lovely assistant.
Glamorous assistant.
I believe that a Europa League champion has gone directly into the Champions League.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we have 5 teams. It could have actually been Germany with 5 teams. Now, this is the live score update. So Liverpool have conceded to Sevilla. That is why the Ultimate Challenger was so disappointed. Yeah. So Liverpool trailing by a goal to 0 at home. That is not a good look for them. Let's bring up the scores again to just see who else. The Ultimate Challenger says, of course, he's upset. My commiserations, Ultimate Challenger. We have everything else. Maribor, Spartak, the clash of the Titans, 0-0. Feyenoord trailing by a goal to Manchester City with Stones scoring, and Jack Tilston 03 saying, how was it Stones? I'm quite surprised by that.
We were actually trying to unfreeze our computer when that goal went in, so we're going to have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I didn't see the goal, but it's, I mean, Stone's not the one you would back, but whoever's punted on that in the betting slip will be laughing all the way to the bank. I do not know.
I've got a bet on tonight. I've got an accumulator on.
Ooh, what are you looking for?
Who I picked as the winners. A couple of draws were in there, definitely. I think Maribor Spartak I said was going to be a draw, and Tottenham Dortmund perhaps as well. I think I said those 2 were going to be draws.
Small update there from the Ultimate Challenger, who's our resident Liverpool fan, of course. He's saying Lovren missed the ball, FFS. I'm not going to read out what that means.
Not going to explain that one, yeah.
But here, a little bit of love in the world left when Messi and Ronaldo kiss and subscribe to the YouTube channel. There are rumours, unconfirmed, that Messi and Ronaldo both subscribed to the YouTube channel very recently.
Well, I can't confirm that, but
I can't deny it either.
It's an entire possibility.
But this picture seems to suggest that there has been some sort of happy coming together with Onefootball. You heard it here first.
Thank you.
Or maybe you didn't hear it here. So a couple of people, don't have to apologise, Ultimate Challengers, absolutely fine. You are obviously upset that your team have gone down a goal to 0. And
it was the man we were talking about earlier as well, Ben Yedder, who scored that goal for Sevilla. So
handy player.
3 early goals in the Champions League.
It is looking very tasty. I mean, yesterday we saw the results earlier on. Every game except the Roma game against Atleti having 3 goals or more.
Bit of a disappointment, that one. 0-0. Yeah, I was expecting big things.
Nice result for Atleti, I suppose. It was in Rome, so decent result for them. But Roma will be disappointed.
That's a tough group as well. Obviously, Chelsea are in that group too. And Chelsea got off to a very good start, of course. So, you can't afford to fall behind too much. So those 2 teams are definitely going to be battling it out for possibly 2nd place. Just a
quick look at the comments here, guys, with Ollie and myself, who you can follow on Twitter.
And please do.
It's completely free. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, download the app, and if you want to have a perfect third thing, you can follow us on Twitter. Just have another look at our Twitter handle. Just take a look. We'll just give you a second there. Ollie Moody, and then Max Merrill _, because some clown has already taken Max Merrill. Don't know who he is. It's definitely not me. But you will see my face on that Twitter handle. Lakshya has a better 3-way recipe to tonight. He's saying Champions League, coffee, and you guys.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff.
What more could you want from life?
Absolutely. Ross McCullum asking, what's the difference between Liverpool's 3rd kit and a Fanta? Not a lot of difference, except that it says Standard Chartered on the front. And Deepam's saying you can drink Fanta, you can't really drink the Liverpool shirt.
You can enjoy it in some way, whereas you can't really enjoy that Liverpool shirt.
Yeah. Girish, he wants some music. Oh, we want football, but we'll work on that, Girish, on some music. But if you hear the music all the time, you'll just be distracted from the lovely tone of our voices. 2-0 City, says Ross. We'll just have to see if that's verified or if Ross is tricking us. I'm sure Ross is telling the truth.
Ross wouldn't lie to us.
We haven't seen the goal yet, but our stream might just show us in a second. We've got and here's a little detail for you. Tottenham, Son Heung-min in the 4th minute. Not a lot of time it's taken. Otherwise, you cannot see the match here, but you can stay with us for more quiz action later on in the show. Obviously, the first round went to you guys. You beat the man supposedly with a PhD in football according to one punter.
I never made that claim.
It's 1-1. Tottenham have conceded to Dortmund.
While we were chatting.
Let's just take a look at the goal here. A little bit of...
what a hit.
What a goal.
Absolutely glorious goal.
The Tottenham goal...
Is Yarmolenko? I think it's Yarmolenko.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Lovely curling left-footed shot right into the top corner.
Beautiful goal.
Yeah, it's Yarmolenko. So that's his first goal for Dortmund, because it was 0-0 when he played at the weekend against Freiburg. An absolute stormer for his opening goal for Dortmund. Outside the box, left foot shot, curling into the far corner. And while you could have said Roman Bürki, the Dortmund goalkeeper, didn't look too good for the Hyung Sung Min Tottenham goal, the other way round, not much that Hugo Lloris, France and Tottenham keeper, could have done about Absolutely
that. Very
not.
Beautiful goal from Yarmolenko. So it's 1-1. The ultimate challenger, by the way, saying he cannot continue watching the Liverpool game. I think City have indeed doubled their lead.
They have indeed, and it's Sergio Aguero who's got the second goal for them. Scored, of course, at the weekend, scored the opening goal at the weekend. And now he's scored again in the Champions League. So City getting off to a very good start. So let's have a look at the... in a minute, we'll have a look at the updated scores. So you have a little overview. There's so many goals happening that we can hardly keep up, let alone you guys. So we're going to give you the update. Vivek here saying it'll be 3-1 Spurs by the end of the match. It can still happen, of course. At the moment, it's 1-1. So we just want to have a little a look. The ultimate challenger is saying he's not very positive about Liverpool right now. I can see why you would be. Maybe Coutinho will come up off the bench and help you guys out. I'm not sure. Lakshya saying, I wish I could see all the games at once like you guys. We are very lucky to do that. It is a German thing, I think. I've never seen it in another country. They call it conference here in Germany. Konferenz, actually. With a Z at the end in German. But it's this weird thing. Well, it's not a weird thing. It's quite a natural thing to do when there's lots of games going on. They sort of switch back and forth between goals, between games. And whenever there's a goal, one of them shouts, goal here. But Lakshya, the good thing is that we will let you know if there is a goal. And indeed, we will have a look at the scores just now. Liverpool falling behind to a Wissam Ben Yedder goal very early on. Sevilla, they're 1-0. Maribor, Spartak Moscow, the clash of the Titans, still 0-0. We expect that to be a nail-biter. Nail-biter, really. If you're going to watch one of them, watch that one. Definitely. I'm just joking. Feyenoord, Manchester City, that would be probably a very one-sided affair, but if you want to see a few goals, it's 2-0 there. Stones with the early goal in the second minute, and then Aguero sort of putting things back to normal, I suppose. We can see there as well, Max, we look a bit further down, that Real Madrid, the champions, have opened their account in the Champions League this season. And who do you think scored it? Real Madrid. Who could possibly have scored a Champions League goal for Real Madrid? Is it Nacho? It's not Nacho. That's a good guess, Max. Maybe Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, you got it at the second attempt. There you go. Yes, there we go. Goal number 106. In the Champions League for Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, Messi scored twice last night. Messi, Ronaldo's great rival. Or love interest, as our subscribe graphic suggests. Yeah, I wonder, what are you talking about, Ollie, here? Oh my goodness, there's Max, Ronaldo, there's Messi. Oh, what? Wonderful, isn't it? I didn't realise. 95 goals that Leo Messi's on now. And he would definitely subscribe to definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel and more of this will happen. I guarantee that. And isn't that what you want? Yeah. Really? I cannot confirm that it's 2-1. Actually happened. It's 2-1. Harry Kane has scored. And he's looking rather excited about it as well. So we're just about to have a look at the goal. Edison is playing Jack Tilston. He is playing unbelievably so. I imagine with some sort of headgear, although I haven't seen him yet because Feyenoord haven't really been anywhere near the Manchester City goal. Tottenham, meanwhile, have gone 2-1 up, restored their lead against Dortmund. And again, Dortmund playing this very high line and getting caught out. And again, it's down the right-hand side of Dortmund's defence. And which again, it's a near-post finish as well. Wow. Bürki has got to sort himself out there because it's Petr Cech-esque. I don't know if... No, it isn't Toljan. Oh, no, it is. Oh, dear. It's a Toprak there, I think. Yeah, Toprak. But the error just before that seems to have been Jeremy Toljan, who's just making his Champions League debut. Very sad for him, to be honest with you. And again, though... Two good hits from Tottenham. But both not looking good. And we've got to question Bürki with that. We've seen here a close-up of Bürki. He doesn't look very impressed with his own performance there.
let us know in the... Sorry, guys. Let us know in the comments. I'm just going to leave in a second. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think of Roman Bürki's blunder and Tottenham. Blunders, plural. Yeah. Tottenham, though, banishing the Wembley hoodoo in style.
Well, maybe. I mean, they conceded after their first goal, didn't they? Yarmolenko with that beautiful strike. If they concede again, then, and if they draw the game, then you can't really say that they've got rid of the hoodoo. So we'll see. You know, Tottenham have now got to hold out for the rest of the game, and that could be what proves difficult against a really good Dortmund attacking lineup.
The ultimate challenger alerting us to a Liverpool free kick that he's got his fingers crossed will go in, although the free kick specialist tends to be Coutinho. Who else might take the free kick there? I mean,
Firmino.
Perhaps. Yeah, could be Firmino.
The lovely striker of the ball. Perhaps,
okay.
He could be the one.
Always is asking, is Salah playing? Salah is playing. Vivek saying, I'm telling you Spurs will go a long way. I just said 3-1 sometime before. So your prediction, you're on the right way there, Vivek. And here are the scores at the moment. 2-1 to Spurs, a little bit right down the bottom of the page. But let's go from top to bottom. Liverpool trailing by 1-0 with Sevilla, although they did just have a free kick. Jack asking, who's Dortmund's manager? It's Peter Bosz, who used to be Ajax Amsterdam's manager, competing in the Europa League final against Jose Mourinho's Manchester United last season. Jose Mourinho's Manchester United 3-0 yesterday, by the way. Not on the page here, but I mean, worth a mention. Maribor Spartak, a nail-biting 0-0 at the moment. Feyenoord trailing 2-0 as expected. Manchester City getting the goals in early. John Stones and Aguero.
Did I say 3-0 for that one? Because it's already looking a little bit light.
It's looking like it could be one of those Chelsea scores like yesterday.
5, yeah,
maybe they'll have a little go at
we'll reevaluate
challenging.
At half-time.
Let's go further down then, Ollie. What are we seeing here? Shakhtar?
We've got a couple of... one of our 0-0s has just disappeared, actually, because Besiktas have opened the scoring against Porto. A bit of a surprise, perhaps, that one. I think I was certainly predicting a Porto win there, but Besiktas have jumped in front. Let's just check out who scored that one, shall we?
In the meantime,
Anderson Talisca.
Anderson Talisca.
Yeah.
Okay. Presumably not the heir to the whiskey Talisca. I don't imagine there's a connection there.
I don't believe so. I don't think he's from Islay, from an island.
No, he's not from Scotland.
North of Scotland,
no. Talisca, though, from the Isle of Skye, I might tell you.
Is it? Glorious stuff. Glorious.
Yeah, I did live in Scotland for a while. Anyway, didn't do that. Ross McCullum, a very important question he's asking us, how often do you do streams? Well, the more people watch, the more streams we will do. It's quite a simple recipe, guys. You know.
Well, we've done a few of these recently. We had one for the Champions League draw. We had another one for the end of the transfer window. We were on tonight. And,
very true.
We're hoping to do more of this as the season goes on. But it all depends on you guys. If we get lots of people watching, commenting, subscribing, that's how we get more of these. Yeah,
and please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's where we will be doing our streams on. That's where you will see all sorts of transfer news. And that is also where you might just see Messi and Ronaldo getting a little bit close to each other. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Messi and Ronaldo, in recent times, there's a big rivalry, I know, but here we are. Oh my God, what's going on here?
Oh, good grief.
Oh, good grief, yes. I mean,
fit for broadcast?
Subscribing to the Onefootball YouTube channel can do all sorts of weird things to your head. So Lakshya saying Onefootball is all over my notification bar because, of course,
that's how we want it.
Because there's so many goals happening. So if you if you want to be up to date with all the goals in all your favorite competitions, get the Onefootball app on your iPhone, your Android, whatever phone you have. You can get the Onefootball app. It's completely free. It is a wonderful, beautifully crafted app in the lovely footballing colour of green, of course reminiscent of the grass, which is green, that the footballers play on. And you can choose your favourite teams so that you don't get all sorts of notifications from all sorts of things you don't want.
You just get the updates that you want.
Yeah, so for instance, yesterday I got 3 updates because Manchester United won 3-0. How many times am I going to mention that in the show, Ollie? I don't know.
We're on 50 already. But, you just mentioned some goals that have been going in, Max, and another one has gone in Ukraine, because Shakhtar Donetsk have taken the lead against Napoli.
Ooh.
And this is another one where certainly I was predicting it would go the other way. I thought Napoli would have this one. So Shakhtar going ahead with a goal from Tyson.
And I'm hearing murmurings of Liverpool, of a Liverpool goal. I haven't seen it yet on my screen to the left of me. I haven't seen it online. I've seen some of you talk about Firmino, but I don't know if Firmino just did rather well or if he has actually scored. So bear with. I've got it on my radar, guys. Liverpool have equalised, presumably through Roberto Firmino, a handy little player who used to play for Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga.
Very well, in fact. He was one of the stars of that team.
And he's one of those players who you can sort of play all across the front three, can't you? Because he is he's very versatile. For Klopp, he's played a lot as a number 9, and he's done quite well.
He has, and he's got the ability to play there. He's got very good technique, very good hold-up play from that point of view. Perhaps not the physical kind of presence that you need sometimes in the Premier League. Some of the teams, obviously, in the Premier League will really sort of batter a striker. You need to be a bigger man, kind of like a Lukaku or a Giroud or something like that.
Yeah.
But Firmino, from a technical point of view, is ideal to be playing there. Perhaps more of a, although not with the speed, perhaps more of a Luis Suarez type for Liverpool. And we believe he's got the goal. I haven't actually confirmed it.
Yeah, Vivek, he has got the goal, I believe. And Vivek here saying he's got some books, Juice, Football, and Onefootball on YouTube. I'm going crazy. Well, I'm glad you are on the Crazy Juice. If you want to follow either of us on Twitter, you can do so, of course, at Ollie Moody, and mine a little bit more clunky, at Max Merrill _. Don't follow this clown who's got Max Merrill without the underscore, because I don't know who he is. No. Maybe he's a very nice person. Maybe, I don't know. But Max Merrill _ Ollie Moody for this guy, of course, as well.
And we can tell you there's been another goal.
Another goal. Ollie, it's just not stopping.
Equalised against Besiktas. So that's a couple of teams that have come back now from a goal down. We've seen it with Dortmund, although they've again gone a goal down against Tottenham. We've seen it with Liverpool going level again against Sevilla. And now we see it with Porto against Besiktas. So we've got a lot of goals already tonight, Max. What's that? I mean, I'm not sure I can count that high, so you're going to have to do it for me.
Oh, dear.
But we've got, goals in all bar 2 games. And the Leipzig-Monaco, perhaps we're expecting goals. And certainly Maribor-Spartak, I think we both expected it to be about 4-3 by now.
I've counted it up for you guys.
With all the quality in attack.
So if more of you subscribe, I will let you know how many goals there are. So I'll give you about 10 seconds to subscribe, guys. Hit subscribe.
Get it now.
Hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. So how many goals have we had? Drum roll, please. It's been 11 goals so far. And we're only like, what, 10, 20 minutes, 23 minutes in at Tottenham against Dortmund. 24 minutes, sorry. So it's been a pretty hefty one. Garvit asking, is this a regular thing for every Champions League match day? Well, Garvit, this is the first time we've done it for the Champions League. If you'd like it to be a regular thing, please do keep watching. Let us know in the comments, of course. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, where if we do a live, you will get a notification as soon as possible. And you will get a notification in the app as well. So download the app. We are going to have a look at the scores now in just a moment, because it's been a lot. Like I say, 11 goals. I mean,
we've got to catch up.
Getting a bit hectic here, guys.
It's easy to lose track, you know.
So yes, let's have a look at the scores then. Liverpool are at level at the moment with Sevilla. A few of you Liverpool fans there saying, bring on Coutinho. Always Ahmed is saying, bring on Coutinho. Ultimate Challenger. Also, he has been, I know Ultimate Challenger and a few of you guys have been with us throughout the live stream, so thanks for being there. Liverpool 1, Sevilla 1. Maribor 0-0 against Spartak. Feyenoord trailing by 2 to City. Goals from Stones and Aguero. Shakhtar Donetsk, help me out here, is it Talisca who scored?
No, it was Tyson who scored for Shakhtar Donetsk. Talisca scored for Besiktas.
Oh, yes, that's right. So the Isle of Skye's whiskey connoisseur Talisca, he has scored for Besiktas. FC Porto, though, also scored.
And an own goal, in fact, from Besiktas. So Besiktas doing all the scoring.
So technically, yeah, Besiktas have scored twice, 1-1.
Dusko Tosic scoring the own goal.
Yeah. One of our sort of big favourites for the night, which is on our screen, which we're watching to keep up to date with the football at the moment, RB Leipzig-Monaco. At the moment, it's 0-0, so not the excitement that we expected, although there's still time. I mean, it's only 25 minutes in, and we can't expect every game to have a first set or second minute goal.
But we can expect City to score 3 goals.
Oh
in the
dear,
first
here
half
they go again.
Feyenoord. They are already 3-0 up, and Feyenoord really look like they're on a hiding to nothing on that one.
Blimey.
You've got to ask kind of where will it stop, because City at the weekend against Liverpool were absolutely ruthless, and so far they've been exactly the same in this game. Aguero, Stones getting the first 2 goals, and now Gabriel Jesus getting on the score sheet too. So both of City's strikers once again on the score sheet. Pep Guardiola will be absolutely delighted with that.
Yeah, he will be.
If you're a City fan out there, do get in touch with us and tell us how happy you are with that team and just how far you can go, because, I mean, God, 5-0 at the weekend against Liverpool, and now 3-0 already in the first half away to Feyenoord. Can you win the double, the treble? What can City do this season? What do you think, Max?
City, I think they can definitely win the Champions League. Not something that Arsene Wenger can do, although he can do the can, as we can see here in the subscribe button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I had to do it, Ollie. Wenger was in the picture. I can't just ignore him. Here we go again. Very nice. Very nice, Arsene.
Back in the Champions League next
year. He needs all the encouragement he can get.
Sort of confident. Not very confident. Actually, don't think it'll happen. But anyway.
Yeah.
YouTube question here. Are Arsenal in the Champions League?
Are Arsenal in the Champions League? No. What's happened with Arsenal? Ollie.
All night I've been getting this, you know. This is what happens when you sit next to a Man United fan. Arsenal are not in the Champions League, as everybody knows. Arsenal are in the Europa League and playing against Cologne tomorrow night.
Oh, right. Well, they could win the Europa League and qualify for the Champions League. Who won the Europa League last season?
I don't know. It was no one cares.
Manchester United?
Was it? Does anybody know? Was anyone watching the Europa League final?
I was watching and I was very happy. Of course, a very impressive campaign from Jose Mourinho. And we all know what happens in Jose Mourinho's second season. He tends to win a double of Champions League and Premier League.
Will it be a proper double or treble this time, or will it be the Peasants' treble again like last season?
I've got to, I've got to take that one.
Community Shield and the...
We did have a sort of a double light. Or a treble light. It wasn't quite, No, I can see how that wasn't really a treble. Although, I don't know, maybe Arsenal fans, if you win the League Cup and the Europa League, will you be also claiming it as a treble because you've won the Community Shield?
Already, so it would be,
So Arsenal fans, do let us know in the comments. Oh no, they're not watching because they're playing tomorrow.
Exactly. We got the big game to come up, Max. We can't.
Sorry, guys. I can't. I've got no right because United were playing in the Europa League last season. City, though, to answer your question, who are 3-0 up against Feyenoord, I think, they could get far in the Champions League. I wouldn't back them to win it. I'd more back someone like Real Madrid to win it, and so on. I think, Real Madrid for me, the big favourites. Juve also looking reasonably good, although they didn't look good against Barcelona.
Absolutely not. Got tanked 3-0, didn't they?
And Barca surprising me yesterday. I thought they would struggle a bit against Juve, and you're just letting me know here very subtly that Besiktas have taken the lead through Tosun. 2-1 Besiktas are leading against...
Besiktas have scored all the goals in that game against Porto.
And it's an away game, so it's not really... we wouldn't expect them to necessarily run out as winners today.
That's against a team that Jose Mourinho won a proper European competition with as well. So that's a really big team that Besiktas are beating there.
I do not know what you're referring to, Ollie.
But anyway, Besiktas beating Porto 2-1 is the news there. Lots of goals, Max.
Lots of goals and lots of excitement. I am excited as well, and you should be excited because there is a competition in the Onefootball app that you guys should be aware of. For those of you who don't know, who weren't there earlier, Adidas have started a competition in the Onefootball app, which is this side of me, my right and left bearings. Here, this fine, other phones are available. You can get the Onefootball app for free in the App Store or the Play Store, whichever one you prefer or whichever phone you have. And on this card here, I have all the details for the Onefootball Adidas Champions League competition.
Well, don't just say you've got the details, Max. Tell us what they are.
I'll tell you what they are then. If you are of the age of 16 or over, you don't even have to be 18. You just have to be 16. Imagine you were 16 years old.
Apologies to any 15-year-olds out there.
I am sorry. And apologies if you don't live in the following countries, because you have to live in one of these countries to be eligible to take part. I don't make the rules.
Adidas.
Adidas make the rules.
What are the rules?
The rules are you have to live in the UK, Spain, Italy, or France. I'll repeat that. UK, Spain, Italy, or France. So essentially, teams that can win the Champions League, or leagues, except for Germany.
The most likely Germany.
And if you enter the competition and win, this is what you could win. Champions League tickets for yourself and 2 other people. So you could take your parents, you could take your brother and your sister, you could take, I don't think you can take your dog. I'd have to read the fine print for that one.
Again,
you could take your friends.
Not our rules.
You could take your friends. So if you are over the age or of the age of 16, you can win Champions League tickets, 3 Champions League tickets in total, flights and accommodations, and it's Champions League group games between the 17th of October and the 6th of December. I'll repeat that, the 17th of October and the 6th of December. So Champions League group games this year, starting from the 17th of October. And so you can win not just the tickets. Don't worry, Adidas are taking care of you. They will give you flights, accommodation, and the tickets. So just to repeat, if you didn't hear, Adidas competition in the app. Get onto the Onefootball app, download it from the App Store or the Play Store, completely free, and register for the competition. Register for the competition. I'm getting too excited here. Where you could win 3 Champions League tickets, 1 for yourself and 2 for 2 people that you want to take with you. You have to be you have to be 16 or over and live in the UK, Spain, Italy, or France. So Champions League, tasty thing to go see. Lovely stuff. I got through it. Sorry, and I'm getting even more excited because there's so many goals, and there's more goals. We're just seeing a goal on my screen, but let's take you through the latest results that we have confirmed, because I believe Leipzig have just scored the opener. It might have been Forsberg. I will keep an eye on that, as Ollie Moody will take you through the scores that we know are already confirmed. Ollie, what are the scores in all the matches?
Well, firstly, Liverpool 1, Sevilla 1 at the moment, just as I watch this Leipzig goal. Oh, lovely stuff. Liverpool 1, Sevilla 1 at Anfield. So a good start to that game. Maribor Spartak somehow still 0-0. Max, can you explain that one to me at all?
No, I would have thought we'd be around, 2-2 all or 3 all at this point.
Anyway, 3 goals is certainly the number that Man City have scored so far against Feyenoord away from home. Shakhtar 1 up against Napoli. Bit of a surprise there for me. Besiktas 2-1 up against Porto. Another surprise for me. I don't think I'm winning my bet tonight. Leipzig, now it's not updated on the screen just yet, but they have taken the lead against Monaco now. And
it's Emil, and I was recently informed that it's Emil Forsberg. Forsberg. I didn't know that. I thought it was Emil Forsberg. I thought it was that easy, but it never is.
Yeah, of course no.
And Garvit here saying he wishes India was on the list. I wish it too, Garvit, but unfortunately the list for the Adidas competition is UK, Spain, Italy, and France. If you want to get involved on the Onefootball app, Lakshya and Vikas telling us that, or Vikas, maybe is it Vikas? I got your name wrong earlier. I'm not going to try again. I thought Ronaldo just missed a tap in. I mean, I'm a big Ronaldo fan, to be honest with you, but I mean, he's got 106. You told me 106. He doesn't need more goals, does he? Surely not.
106 is enough. Real Madrid are winning, though.
Ooh, and another goal, Monaco.
Monaco have hit back already.
It's 1-1.
A couple of minutes after.
I mean, they're not even giving us.
This is a theme of tonight. Teams take the lead and then the opponents equalise pretty quickly. So it's exciting stuff in the Champions League tonight.
All the more better as I adjust my cable here. All the better for the fans, or the neutrals rather, because it's very high scoring. I mean, let's count it. No, we can't count it up because it hasn't updated yet.
But a lot of goals anyway, and just watching a replay of it here. Cross in from the right-hand side,
and then a header. Ooh, nice. Oh no, and then another. And what's going on? Gulashi. Gulashi.
Bit of a hash from Gulashi there, but it's Tielemans who's scored the equaliser.
Yeah, on his Monaco Champions League debut. He has played for RSC Anderlecht. Oh, has he? He played for the in the Europa League last season. I'll have to fact check that one.
Champions League debut, yeah. We'll have to look
but we're just going to bring up the scores in just a moment there. Gulashi looking very poor for the Monaco equaliser.
No.
So we're just trying to update the scores there for you, and then we'll bring them up on screen
there we go.
right about now.
There we go.
So we have Liverpool 1-1 against Sevilla. That stayed like that for a little while. 10 minutes left in the half for most of the teams. Maribor 0-0 against Spartak. Don't know what's going to happen there. It's a nail biter according to the latest reports. Feyenoord trailing 3-0 to Manchester City. Pep Guardiola will be happy with that. Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0 against Napoli at home. FC Porto trailing though to Besiktas, who have scored all 3 goals. An own goal there, I'm led to believe. I haven't seen that own goal. Peter Bosch, by the way, having a moan here on the touchline about something.
Well,
the
Pulisic
Dortmund
just
coach
missed a really good chance. He just couldn't quite reach it. A good chance to equalise for Dortmund against Spurs. If we drop down to that result quickly, Tottenham 2-1 up against Dortmund at the moment. Goals from Son,
I think
Kane,
we're about to see, I can see into the
Yarmolenko.
future. I think we're about to see a Tottenham goal.
Oh, indeed.
I think we're about to see a Tottenham goal. Somebody a little birdie has informed me that there's a Tottenham goal. I'm not sure if this has happened, but it could be Eriksen, according to some sources. We've got the Tottenham goal on our screen here, so we'll let you know as soon as we're sure that Tottenham have scored. Garvit's asking, do we do match highlights? We don't do match highlights at the moment, but we do lives for you, and love to talk to you guys. Awa is saying Eriksen scored. We're a little bit behind Awa, but we'll keep an eye on that. Vivek saying it'll be an all-English semi-final. Well, based on today's results and yesterday's results, I mean, today's aren't done yet, but yesterday's results, definitely, it could be an all-English semi-final.
Absolutely, yeah. The English team's starting very strongly in the Champions League this year. And, we've seen that with Tottenham already. Now, if we hear they've gone 3-1 up. Liverpool, okay. Perhaps the only team letting the side down at the moment, 1-1 at the moment. But strong performance from City so far. They're 3-0 up. And who else did we have yesterday? Chelsea, of course, hammering Karabakh. And Man United getting a 3-0 win against Basel, Max's team here. So a strong performance from the English team so far. It's very much possible that we could have an all-English semi-final, even though that hasn't been the trend in the last few years. English teams have struggled a little more than the Spanish teams. Bayern and Dortmund, perhaps from the Bundesliga. Juve as well have reached the semi-final a few times. So it will take an improved performance from the English teams, but the early signs are there. Okay, well, Luke up north, he's asking, can we do some group predictions on this show? Well, Luke, you know exactly what's about to happen or what's going to be happening quite soon. We will have the Onefootball newsroom give their predictions. They all recorded them beforehand, so they can't change them now that they've seen the scores. So some of them will be wildly wrong, which is going to be hilarious, and you will be able to poke fun at them and tell them that they are idiots. So let's go and have a look at what our colleagues in the newsroom had to say before the games kicked off, mind, about today's fixtures. Here are the predictions. Can I say hello first? Hello.
Hiya. Hi.
Hello. Probably Spurs. There's signs that perhaps they should have signed more than they did, and I think with the squad stretched over a couple of competitions, it might not be the best of seasons for Spurs in the Champions League.
The German clubs, Borussia Dortmund and FC Bayern, will devastatingly fail.
Leipzig is definitely going to be the crash and burn team this year.
I'm very sorry to say this, but it'll be Liverpool.
FC Bayern, they showed last year that they have problems when it comes to close games late in the season, and they don't have a good transfer summer, so now they will end up latest in the quarterfinal.
Biggest surprise is going to be Liverpool. They match so well together, and in the Champions League it's kind of a bigger challenge for them, and they will exceed this challenge.
I don't know if there will be a big surprise, but I think Porto will get some good results.
I think it's going to be Sevilla.
I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Leipzig, but I'm not confident that they're going to be the biggest one. I think Napoli are the one to watch. The way they've started the season and the players they kept hold of, I think they could have a nice little tournament.
The biggest surprise will be Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. He knows how to come to a final with a team no one knows or no one really is planning with. And it will be good for the tournament. If there's a new team in the top 4, and I think Liverpool will be.
I think Lionel Messi will be the top scorer in the Champions League this year.
Like every year, Cristiano Ronaldo.
the top goal scorer is going to be Neymar.
I'm going to be super uncreative. It'll be Ronaldo again.
Messi, for sure.
The second highest goal scorer will be Paulo Dybala.
As always, Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be the number 2.
Actually, Ronaldo is gonna come in second again.
Second most goals. Maybe Dybala or, Messi's another uninspired choice as well. I'm really going out on a limb, yeah.
I think it's a guy called Lionel Messi.
I think the biggest blowout this year is going to be Atletico against Karabakh.
Madrid will score 5 goals against Apoel because they come after drawing at home against Levante. So they really have to show to everyone that they can make it.
I'm going to go with Barcelona versus Juventus. Last year it was a 3-0, I think. Now they're going to smash them again.
Anything involving Karabakh, I think Azerbaijan, it's a long trip home, and they're going to have some big defeats to think about on those plane rides.
I think it's Dortmund against Nicosia. Dortmund knows how to score a lot of goals in the Champions League, and Nicosia is like a too small club for them. I think it will be a 7-1.
Next breakout star, even though Borussia Dortmund will fail, I think Christian Pulisic will do very well.
I actually think it's gonna be Pulisic from Dortmund as well. He's been doing amazing and he's only 18 years old, and definitely, yeah.
I think that Pulisic is going to be able to show his good performances from the Bundesliga in the Champions League this year as well.
So everyone was saying Pulisic before, right? I'm close, but I want to change it up. Breakout's a tough one to sort of qualify exactly what that means, but I actually think Timo Werner, with the way that he started the Bundesliga season, is going to be definitely one to watch, one of the younger players to watch.
It's Leroy Sané. On the one hand, he's from Schalke, the greatest club in the world, and on the other hand, he's the young player who steps up on the big arena and now is going to rock the Champions League.
It hurts me to say this, but I think Manchester United and Mourinho are going to win the Champions League.
I think Real Madrid is gonna win.
Juventus all the way.
Real Madrid. They're only getting better. Now Asensio is a star as well, so honestly, if you can afford to leave Gareth Bale on the bench, then you've got to be close.
You want to know who's winning? Yes, please. Real Madrid.
Liverpool.
Well, a couple of dodgy predictions there, a couple of more accurate ones, but we can take you to the very accurate scores that are live and accurate.
We hope accurate anyway. The big one is right at the top there. You'll see now Liverpool, who were behind against Sevilla, are now 2-1 up. I can tell you it's Mohamed Salah, with the help of a massive deflection of Simon Kjaer, who we mentioned earlier, the defender, that's made it 2-1 to Liverpool. So the Scousers now back in the lead.
Yeah.
And that's without even bringing Felipe Coutinho off the bench.
Oh dear.
Coutinho on the bench tonight. But it's Salah who's got who's put Liverpool ahead. So after that, Maribor Spartak still 0-0. Max,
yeah. I would have thought we'd be about 2-2, 3-3 now.
I expected at least 5 goals by this point. City 3-0 up away to Feyenoord, and had a goal disallowed as well, I believe. Shakhtar 1-0 up at home to Napoli. Besiktas, somewhat surprisingly, 2-1 up away to Porto. RB Leipzig and Monaco at 1-1. Real Madrid just the 1 goal ahead against Apoel. Perhaps a bit of a surprise, that one, that Real haven't sort of fired out the blocks. And the last one right down the bottom there, Tottenham 2, Dortmund 1. So those are your scores so far, and hopefully none of them have changed while I've been reading them out. But lots of goals is the most important thing.
We heard about a possible 3-1 to Tottenham. That wasn't true, though. And we're just seeing Mauricio Pochettino walking off the pitch, along with goal scorer Heung-min Son, the scorer of the first goal, which was followed by a beauty from Yarmolenko, which was then followed by another goal from Harry Kane. Both Tottenham goals, so looking a bit to me like we had some goalkeeping errors from Roman Bürki. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's a little harsh perhaps, because they were both very good shots, both very powerful shots as well, but they were both at Bürki's near post. And you always want your keeper to keep his near post covered. And I think Berkey will be a bit disappointed that he hasn't saved at least one of those shots. You know, perhaps saying, all right, Son was pretty close when he hit his, and Kane's was a fierce shot as well. You can perhaps forgive one. I think to concede both is perhaps. I think Berkey will be disappointed. You know, but Dortmund is still in with a fight in that game. Just the one goal difference at the moment, and they've got some great attackers. They had a couple of chances to get on level terms. Pulisic in particular, cross from Aubameyang, and Pulisic just couldn't quite reach it to put the finishing touch on. But certainly a game that's living up to expectations, Max.
Well, it's almost half-time in all the games. We will bring you the scores as soon as the half-time whistle blows on all of them. But quickly an update here. Kwame Steele telling me that there was a goal from Dortmund that was disallowed. Pulisic played it in, but Aubameyang was offside, so the goal was ruled out. So it is still 2-1 to Tottenham. No goal from Eriksen, though. We had heard murmurings of a third goal.
Lies.
It wasn't true. Lies. Fake news. Liverpool take their 2-1 lead into half-time, though. So, as far as I'm aware, Monaco looking like they're walking off the pitch here. So that's Liverpool, not Liverpool, Leipzig against Monaco, all done for the first half. So let's take a look at the scores then. Who is winning, who's losing, and who is a bit boring? Liverpool, 2-1 against Sevilla. They overturned Sevilla's lead.
And an early goal from Wissam Ben Yedder. But Liverpool hit back, and Mo Salah putting them ahead just towards the end of the half there. No team in the lead at the moment between Maribor and Spartak. Somehow a goalless draw at the moment. City 3-0 up.
Oh, sorry, I've just got some Prabin saying he's got some breaking news that he spotted Coutinho dancing with Piqué and Shakira to Waka Waka.
Good stuff.
Wow.
I mean, lucky Coutinho.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to be doing that?
I wouldn't mind it.
Dancing with Shakira and Piqué.
Let's talk about Maribor Spartak Moscow then. Not quite the cracker that we expected.
No, I mean, we'd expected that player to score by now, hadn't we? And then there's that other player for the other team.
The other one, he's quite good.
Yeah. And the coach.
The one with the suit on.
With the three-piece, the waistcoat.
Yeah,
yep.
And he's on the sidelines, isn't he? Yeah, he does. He does tend to sit there.
So.
Yeah. These players here, we've all seen him before. We know. I mean, that guy. You know, he's just marvelous. You know.
And some of these players, look at them.
Yeah, I mean, and here looking, very professional at the conference, Maribor, and of course Spartak as well, looking very
good suit,
much like a football team.
And you can see there some football players. Yeah,
playing and laughing and sort of, mouth is open here, which sort of suggests that things are happening on the pitch.
Celebrating and goals. So yeah.
So
but no goals in Slovenia.
No goals
so far. So we're still waiting for an opening goal between Maribor and Spartak.
Yeah, ORMZBY or ORMZMB is saying incoming deep analysis of Maribor.
There you go.
You know,
you just got it.
We're not huge Maribor experts. I'm sorry.
If there are any Slovenian fans out there who want to tell us all about Maribor, then please do it, and we'll read out your comment.
Please do. Harris saying he's a Spurs fan, and he's going to say 4-2 to Spurs. So he's backing his team to score again twice, but also backing Dortmund to score again. Meanwhile, I would like to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And there are all sorts of magical things that happen on the Onefootball YouTube channel.
Indeed.
Beautiful shows on transfers, predictions for matches, analysis of teams, and
these two.
Messi and Ronaldo coming together and making beautiful, sweet pancakes. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will give you a shout out if I can catch your comment. There's a lot of comments coming in. So if I can catch your comment and you subscribe, obviously you don't need to spam. I will try and do my best to read out if you let me know that you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. And so, Samo wants to have a shout out. Samo, you get a shout out, but please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Here are all the scores at halftime. It is halftime on match day 1, Wednesday in the Champions League. But we have something tasty happening for you. We have got a quiz for you. Jack Tilston says he's a City fan and he thinks it will be 8-0.
8-0.
Could happen.
Well, there's only 3 so far, so that'd be a big second half. 5 goals.
Yeah. Sammy Mia asking, how good is Maribor? I don't know.
Well,
I think they're all right. Come on. I mean, jokes aside, they've made it into the Champions League. They shouldn't be underestimated. They've held their own against Spartak Moscow, who are a force to somewhat be reckoned with, and it's 0-0 there. So Lakshya saying, I'm loving this live stream. Please keep it going on every Champions League night. We'll do our level best. And one thing we have got coming up is our quiz, which is, of course, hosted by yours truly, Max Merrill, and contested by Ollie Moody and you guys.
Look at this. Ta-da! Fact or fiction with this guy. Lovely big smile on his face there, as you can see now as well.
Yeah, that wasn't my idea. I'm sure you would be surprised to hear.
It was mine.
We're going to have a chat after the show, aren't we, Ollie? Right, Ollie versus YouTube. It is 1-0 to YouTube at the moment. You guys, Vikas Danda has... Vikas Danda? I'm trying my best, Vikas. I've been watching the live stream from the start, and he already subbed 4 months ago. Shout out. Here's your shout out. Thank you very much for subbing. Keep subscribed and keep watching our videos. We're very pleased that you like them. And obviously, it's all the more important that people like you get involved and appreciate what we do and what our colleagues do on a daily basis. Of course, if you want to see Ollie Moody to my right more often, you can catch him on Fridays. Or any other time, to be honest. That is the nature of the interweb. So, fact or fiction, our quiz.
Here we go.
You guys will be able to let us know in the comments, true or false. It's very easy. You don't have to type anything except true or false. And Ollie will answer the question. I'm giving you guys a head start. Ollie hasn't read the question yet. You guys will have a head start. Let us know in the comments what you think, and I will kind of gauge what the majority of you guys are saying and answer for you guys. So,
I'm 1-0 down at the moment.
So get ready to type true or false. The question is, Neymar is the first player to score in both quarter-final legs, both semi-final legs, and the final.
Ooh.
So he's managed to score 5 goals minimum. So both quarter-final legs, semi-final legs, and final. The first player to do that is Neymar.
Is that true or false?
Is that true or false in the Champions League era?
Yeah, good question. I'm pretty sure Ronaldo's done that at some point. The question was, did he do that last season, Ronaldo?
Cristiano? Or Fat Ronaldo?
Cristiano.
As Fergie
Cristiano, not the more sort of, stocky Ronaldo, should we say?
He's a beautiful player.
I think he did it. I think he may have done it last season, but did Neymar do it first? That's the question. Both quarter-final legs, both semi-final legs, final. That's a big ask. I'm going to say it's true.
You're going to say it's true. It's a lot of people here saying false. Yeah, I'm going to go false for the YouTube guys. You're saying it's true. So, drum roll, please. What is the answer, Joe? Safine.
We're waiting.
Yeah. It's a fact. Ollie Moody gets a point. 1-0 to Ollie Moody.
Taking the lead.
Taking the lead. Latino boy, Vikas Danda, Awais Ahmed, Harris, Samo, MRJD. They were all saying it was false. Unfortunately, it is true. Neymar.
There you go.
I didn't know that. I'm pretty surprised by that, to be honest.
It's a good guess.
A good guess, an educated guess. Luke up the north subbed and turned the notifications on. Hashtag notifications squad hype. I like the hashtag. Let's get that trending, guys. Notification squad. Nice one, Luke up the north. I like your username as well. And thanks for subscribing to the Onefootball YouTube channel. We will need to get the next question. So the next question, fact or fiction? Zinedine Zidane, Johan Cruyff, Carlo Ancelotti, Frank Rijkaard and Pep Guardiola have won the elite competition that is the Champions League, both as a manager and a player. All of those.
Both as a player and as a manager.
So Zidane, Cruyff, Ancelotti, Rijkaard, Guardiola.
Okay, let's think about this.
Kwame Steele saying you had a lucky guess there for the last one.
Come on.
Kwame's on your back.
Educated guess, that's what it is. Okay, let's think it through.
Let's go. Well, you're going through Zidane.
Zidane, I'm pretty sure has won it as both a player and as a manager, both with Real.
Keep commenting, guys. Let us know in the comments. Is it true or false, this statement? Zidane, Cruyff, Ancelotti, Rijkaard and Guardiola have won the Champions League as a coach and as a player. So all of those have to be true. True or false? Which one is it? True or false?
Cruyff, yeah.
Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction?
Fact or fiction.
Fact or fiction.
Fact or fiction, true or false. We'll accept either. Johan Cruyff, I'm going to say yes again. I think he's definitely done it. Carlo is the one I'm not so sure about. You know, Carlo Ancelotti. I think Rijkaard did it. I'm pretty sure Guardiola did it. Carlo Ancelotti, that's the big question for me. Did Carlo Ancelotti win the Champions League as a player? He's won it as a manager. Did he do it as a player?
He's a little bit corpulent, isn't he, Ancelotti?
Well, he is now, but you know, I'm sure he wasn't when he was a player. Did probably have a fantastic eyebrow. What's YouTube saying? Come on, tell me.
YouTube, it was a little bit split, but I'm thinking the majority here are saying true.
Yeah.
I've got true again, another Latino boy who's subbed as well. He's got true.
I think you guys are right. I think it's true. I think it's a fact.
Oh dear, Ollie, I see what you've done there. Okay, both YouTube and Ollie going for true, and the answer is our glamorous assistant Josephine will put it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Fact.
See? Fact. I explained
Josephine giving a cheeky wink there as well. Thanks, Josephine. Fact. Josephine by day goes by the name of Joe and is actually a dude.
But his nighttime activities are his business, Max,
yes,
and not ours or our YouTube.
Thanks, Joe. It is true. So points split there. So Ollie at the moment leading with 2-1. So, although we did have a few, I'm sorry, a few guys were saying fiction, but so let's move on to the next question, guys.
Question 3.
You can do this. I know you've won the first set, so you can do it again. Alvaro Arbeloa is the only player to feature in the 2 biggest wins in Champions League history. Fact or fiction?
2 biggest wins. What would those 2 biggest wins be, though? That's the question, isn't it? I mentioned earlier with the Peter Crouch question that we had the hat-trick question.
Vikas Danda, by the way, saying you cheated because you copied.
No,
he's not happy.
I explained my working on that one. I went through all of them one by one.
Let us know. Type it up, guys. Let us know if you think this is true or false, and I will not tell Ollie this time. I will not let him know.
All right,
so I will shield this from him. I will only keep it to myself. So let me know, true or false, fact or fiction, rather, fact or fiction in the comments. Did Alvaro Arbeloa play in both of the biggest Champions League wins, record wins in Champions League history? I will reveal, of course, what those wins were when the question is done.
So that would have been, presumably, let's say, for the sake of an argument, that Arbeloa did play in both of them. That would mean probably one for Liverpool and one for Real Madrid, I would assume. So,
I see your thinking here. I'm not agreeing.
I mentioned that that Liverpool had a pretty big win in the Champions League a few years back. Over,
did they now?
I believe it was over Marseille.
Oh, yes, did they?
And Real have obviously spanked quite a few teams.
But did they achieve the record win?
Did Arbeloa play in both?
And did he play in both? Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. You got me here, guys.
This is one of mine, actually.
Is it? I should have known. Should have known Max was going to be the one to catch me out. But all right, I'm going to say fact.
Ooh, and I can reveal that it looks to me like YouTube is saying fiction. Ooh. So we have it nicely poised. So you could really stride ahead here.
Or go the other way.
Or go the other way, yeah. They could draw level.
What it is.
It is, drumroll please, Joe/Josephine. Yeah. Fact. Ollie Moody is correct. Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. It was Alvaro Arbeloa who played, you were right in your thinking, at least, Real Madrid and Liverpool.
PhD.
And he won, he was in part of the side that won 8-0 twice.
8-0 against Marseille for Liverpool, was it?
I believe so. And then Real Madrid, can't remember.
No, I can't remember. But Real Madrid, though. I know.
But 8-0, yeah, and I mean, this is, of course, the fact or fiction show where you, the YouTubers, fact or fiction, with me, Max Merrill. Yeah, not the picture I would have chosen, guys. Thank you very much for that one. Lovely, lovely stuff. As the players are slowly meandering back onto the pitch, we have time. Do we have time for one more question? I think we've got time for one more question. Come on, redeem yourself, YouTubers. Lakshya saying the volume is a little bit various. We'll fix that for you, Lakshya. Don't worry. Thank you for pointing that out for us, though.
We're just getting excited. That's all it is.
So it is fact. Awais Ahmed said he googled it and it is fiction. Yes. So we are right. But sorry, this one though is nothing. I was still talking about the last one. What's the next one? The next question is, fact or fiction? Andres Iniesta is the first player to assist a goal in 3 different Champions League finals. Lakshya, by the way, saying you do. He also thinks you have a PhD in football. Audio issues. We will fix the audio issues, but in the meantime, I will just use my hands to go fact or fiction. Here, fact or fiction? Which one? Which one is it?
All right, first player to assist a goal in 3 different Champions League finals. There can't be many players who have played in 3 different finals.
No.
And
has Iniesta? That's the first question you have to answer for yourself.
Iniesta, I'm pretty sure has 2009.
Oh, you're pretty sure, are you?
Final. Well, when else did they? When did they beat Man United in the final, Max? You'd know this. When did Barcelona beat Manchester United in the final?
I don't remember that happening.
I want Max to tell me.
I remember I broke the couch that night because when Rooney scored, I jumped up and I landed back on the couch, and the couch went and I was very excited, and then we lost, and then I went out and I went to a house party of my friends, and we enjoyed many fizzy water drinks.
Yeah.
Sparkling water.
All soft drinks, of course.
Yes, of course.
Right, so he would have played in, was that 2011, I think it was, wasn't it? So
around that time,
2011 and 2015, when it was here in Berlin, when Barca beat Juve. I reckon he has done it. The question is he the first?
Oh, yeah.
Question is, we've had a lot of facts in the last couple, so I'm going to say fiction with this one.
Oh, you're going to say fiction.
Yep,
and we have got the... Awai says, fact is that the games have started again. That is very true. Vickers says, true. So MRJD saying true. A couple of you saying false, but we're going to go with fact for the YouTubers and fiction from Ollie Moody. Yeah. And what is the answer?
Yeah. 100%.
No, fiction, mate. You said fact.
No, I said fiction.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I did say fiction, yeah. Now who's cheating, right? Changing my answers. I got all 4 right there.
I was trying to help you guys out. I'm sorry.
Football PhD, this guy.
Okay. I'm sorry about that one, guys. But you won the first set, so it's 1-1 in the grand scheme of things. And I think there are still 1 or 2 questions that we have left for later. We'll come back to them for the final showdown. But the scores for now are level. In this game we call fact or fiction, with a lovely sort of graphic jingle that we do have, which I most certainly did not approve of before we were done. And you will see in a few seconds just why.
Well, Max did not approve of this.
I've got to say,
this jingle, of this graphic that is going to come up on the screen.
Yeah.
Max is depicted with his customary big smile. Look, here it is. Ta-da! You could almost see like his teeth shining there.
Yeah, looking like a geography teacher a little bit, you know.
I always think of you that way, Max.
Or a history teacher, actually, fact or fiction, that'd be good.
Anyway, fact or fiction 1-1 at the moment. Also 1-1 is Leipzig against Monaco.
What a transition there.
There you go.
Ollie Moody. You'd think he does this for a living. Here are the scores, guys. Liverpool leading 2-1 at home to Sevilla, against Sevilla, rather. Maribor, Spartak Moscow, still 0-0. A game we know very little about and have been speaking very little about because very little has been happening. Feyenoord are trailing 3-0 to Manchester City. We had a fan earlier on saying that that City would be winning 8-0. Is that possible?
8-0 that's going to be a big second half, isn't it? If it's 3-0 now, I mean, 5 goals in 45 minutes. That's a tall order, but I think City fans will be very happy with 3-0. If it finishes this way, 4-5-6 would also be good for them, of course.
Right. Well, moving on further downwards, Shakhtar Donetsk, they are 1-0 up against Napoli. Porto and Besiktas currently in a very interesting game where Besiktas have scored all the goals.
Indeed.
An own goal.
But Porto are only 1 goal behind. Thanks to that own goal.
Yes, and Besiktas 2 goals. And RB Leipzig 1-1 against Monaco on their Champions League debut, and a new-look Monaco side without Kylian Mbappe, without countless members of the squad, whose names escape me right now. Let me Let me think. Who's all left?
Well, they lost
Monaco?
Mondi, didn't they? And they lost Mbappe, and they lost. Who else did they lose?
They did lose. So
Bernardo Silva as well to Man City. But one of their new signings, sorry if I've just shouted at you all there, Yuri Tielemans is the man on the score sheet for them today.
He is.
So there you go. It's not just about who you lose, it's about who you replace them with for Monaco. Who else have we got here? We've got Real Madrid, of course, 1-0 up so far against Apoel. I'm a bit surprised that it's just 1-0, Max. I don't know about you. I would have expected Real to really fly out the blocks and put down a marker to say we're going to keep hold of our title.
I see what you mean. Yeah, Apoel Nicosia. We've got to commend them though. On the other hand, looking the other way, they're presumably holding up a little bit at the moment. Although I have heard that Ronaldo missed a sitter. Jack Tilston was the person who predicted 8-0 for City. I think, Jack, if I remember correctly, you are a City fan. Who scored the second goal for Liverpool, Ollie Moody?
Mo Salah.
It was
Mohamed Salah scored the second goal with the help of quite a heavy deflection we hear off Simon Kjaer in the Sevilla defence. So perhaps a slightly fortunate goal for Liverpool, but it puts them 2-1 up, and that's the way it stands at the moment. They're on course for a victory in their return to the Champions League.
Some great comments coming in here. Kwame Steele saying Dortmund need to change their formation if they stand any chance to beat Tottenham. Interesting one, actually, Kwame. I like the way they played with 3 at the back last season under Tuchel. It doesn't look like Peter Bosch is doing that, though. Manny Mahal, he's saying, you sound like you're doing Fun with Flags with Sheldon Cooper. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I really enjoyed that on The Big Bang Theory, Fun with Flags. What else have we got? A Newcastle fan, Luke up the north. They won't be anywhere near the Champions League soon, is what he says. That explains his username, though, Luke up the north. Yes, very far up in the northeast of England. Newcastle, who did, in fact, participate in the Champions League not too long ago. Unfortunately, this
Charger's not right, is it?
Yeah, the Charger. So
I was trying to do that all surreptitious way.
If my glamorous assistant Josephine could pick up my bag and bring me my charger, I would be very grateful.
The highest production value right here at Onefootball for you.
Of course, over here we have my other glamorous assistant Jurgen Klinsmann playing for.
Right behind
Inter
you,
Milan, I believe. No, my laptop charger. It's in my bag.
Close.
My backpack's over there, where Ollie Moody does his show on a Friday for Onefootball on YouTube.
Indeed.
Saved it, Max.
Indeed.
Yes.
And well, actually, we've moved over to the green screen now. But anyway, you can check out that video. The last one was about Jadon Sancho, looking at some of the transfers that took place this summer. Jadon Sancho was one. Christian Pulisic was a possible future transfer that we're talking about there as another one. So definitely check that. And all of Onefootball's videos out, because they're not nearly as haphazard as these. Where's Joe walks in front of my
Let's
camera.
have a look at the scores. Let's have a look at the scores, guys. What are the latest scores that we're seeing in the Champions League? Here they are. And we can have a look. Ollie, what's going on?
All right, well, we've got Liverpool 2-1 up against Sevilla at the moment. Mohamed Salah scoring the goal to put Liverpool ahead there, thanks to a tasty deflection of Simon Kjaer. Maribor Spartak, the big game of the night, still 0-0 in that one. Bit of a surprise, the only 0-0 that we've got so far. Manchester City, 3-0 up away to Feyenoord. A great start to this Champions League campaign for them. Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero both on the score sheet for City. So it's a very good start to life in the Champions League this season for them. Shakhtar Donetsk and Napoli. Shakhtar are 1-0 up. A goal from Tyson. There, a bit of a surprise for Napoli to be behind, perhaps. Likewise for Porto, they're 2-1 down to Besiktas at home. A game where Besiktas have scored all of the goals, an own goal and 2 for themselves. On top of that, we've got RB Leipzig, Monaco. Certainly one of the ones that Max and I were really looking forward to tonight. RB at home in their Champions League debut. Monaco, of course, a heavily changed side from the team that reached the semi-finals last season. No Kylian Mbappe, no Benjamin Mendy, no Bernardo Silva for them. But Yuri Tielemans, one of their new signings, has ensured that they are on level terms at the moment with Leipzig. Real Madrid 1-0 up.
Yeah, we have an update there, though. I believe Real Madrid have scored a second goal.
Real Madrid have scored a second goal. There you go. I'm behind.
Let's have a little look who it is. It is, drum roll please,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo with a penalty this time. And let us know in the comments if you saw the penalty given. We haven't seen it yet. If you think it was, in fact, a penalty. Was the foul a penalty? But it's 2-0 to Real Madrid. So we can give you an updated look at the scores in just a moment. So Ollie, what's going on?
Yeah, well, that goal from Cristiano Ronaldo is the first one that we've had in the second half so far tonight. But obviously, it's a very high-scoring night so far. We've got 3 goals in Liverpool, where Liverpool 2-1 up against Sevilla. Another 3 goals in Rotterdam, where Manchester City are beating Feyenoord. Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0 up against Napoli. Another 3 goals in Porto, where Porto are losing at home 2-1 to Besiktas. A bit of a surprise there. Leipzig drawing so far on their Champions League debut. 1-1 with Monaco. Monaco, of course, a heavily changed side from last season's team that reached the semi-final. And Real Madrid, the champions, of course, 2-0 up. We've just heard Cristiano Ronaldo getting both goals for them against Apoel. And Tottenham, 2-1 up against Dortmund in a match that we were certainly looking forward to. Goals from Heung-min Son and Harry Kane, with one from Yarmolenko as well for Dortmund. An absolutely lovely hit. So, what do you think, Max?
I think nobody noticed at all that I just stole your MacBook charger while... I've stole the second end of it. So if you heard any rustling, please do not be alarmed. I have merely stolen my colleague's MacBook charger. There are other notebooks available.
Proof that I can speak for a very long time.
Very good. Thank you very much, Ollie, for not for letting me steal that. I've got something for you guys, and it's very, very tasty. In my hand
not
here
again, Max.
are my...
We've got 2 lawsuits on this already.
In my hand here, I have got a competition. Adidas are holding a competition together with Onefootball. And if you check here on this side, this is a phone of some description. You may use your phone to download the Onefootball app. And if you do, or if you have the Onefootball app and open it, you could win an incredible weekend with Champions League football involved. So basically, Adidas are holding a competition in our app where you could win tickets for yourself and for your 2 mates or your parents or whoever you want to take with you, your cousins. It could be anyone, really. Here are the terms and conditions. You have to be 16 years old or older. 16 or above is the age that we need you to be, or Adidas needs you to be eligible for competition. You can win flights, accommodation, and tickets for yourself and 2 others for group games between the 17th of October and the 6th of December. So that's this year, a healthy chunk of group games, and you'll be able to choose from games in that time period. You do, however, have to be 16 or older and live in the UK, Spain, Italy, or France. And I apologize if you don't live there, if you can't take part. I'm sorry. Adidas make the rules, not myself, but Adidas have been generous enough to give you the chance to experience Champions League football in one of Europe's amazing stadiums. And so do just get involved in the competition. As I say, all you need to do is get into your Onefootball app, like so, as you can see here. Open it, and you will see an Adidas competition. You will be able to get involved when 16 or older, living in UK, Spain, Italy, or France. If that applies to you, get involved, get into the competition, flights, accommodation, and 3 tickets in total for a Champions League match of your choosing in the time period specified. It couldn't get any better. I would love to win that. What would you choose? I mean, now that your team, Arsenal, are not in the Champions League, small reminder there. I mean, you could go see a great team like Manchester United.
You know what? I'd much rather watch the team that we're watching on our screen right now, which is Dortmund.
Tottenham.
Good grief, can you imagine? Dortmund, of course, who should have been level just then. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored a lovely hit as well. And you know what? Tottenham have just scored, of course.
Oh! And it's Harry Kane, if I'm not much mistaken. It is Harry Kane. It is. And one of you, I don't remember who it was.
Well.
Please remind me who it was. Somebody...
predicted 4-2,
yeah, I think somebody predicted 4-2, and it was a Spurs fan who predicted 4-2. So the Spurs fans very happy indeed. Let's just see if Roman Burki, who was somewhat at fault for the first 2 Spurs goals, could be at fault for this one.
I don't
nice
think
little
you
pass
can blame
Dembele,
him for this
nice
one.
little interchange.
I think it's more the defence sort of leaving Harry Kane out there on his own.
To be fair, that's a very good goal, but they didn't mark Harry Kane. And if you don't mark Harry Kane, beautiful passing there from Dembele to Davis to Eriksen to Kane. Very quick interchange.
But you know what, Max? It should have been 2-2 just before that, because Aubameyang scored with a lovely hit, and it was ruled offside. And well, some Dortmund players were offside, but they didn't interfere with play. Aubameyang, I think, was onside on first viewing at least. And so actually, Dortmund had a goal wrongly disallowed. Tottenham have taken full advantage of that, though. Huge. They're now 3-1 up.
Yeah, 3-1. And the Wembley hoodoo, I mean, can we say the Wembley hoodoo has gone? I mean, we'll just...
Well, we've still got, what have we got, 30 minutes to go?
Yeah, another 30 minutes to go. So just, by the way, just a reminder there, the Adidas competition, if you are confused about anything, you can check all the terms and conditions in the app. So Mr. Onefootball here telling you in the live chat, and I can only repeat what Mr. Onefootball has said. Please do check the app. It's very easy. Click on it and you'll see all the terms and conditions spelled out to you. I hope I explained it. But of course, you know, you can't remember all these numbers that I'm shouting at you, so do get into the app. Here are the scores, though, brought to you by Onefootball, of course. Liverpool 2-1 up against Sevilla. Maribor still 0-0 against Spartak. When are we going to see the goals in that one come in?
Feyenoord start flying in, Max. Trust me.
Yeah, by the end, won't they? We're just seeing Monaco. Leipzig were first. Feyenoord still trailing 3-0 against Man City. It's going to be tricky to see that 8-0 that one of our viewers predicted happening. Shakhtar Donetsk 2-0.
Yeah, that's right. They've scored a second goal through Facundo Ferreira. He's put them 2-0 up against Napoli, which is a bit of a surprise to me.
Facundo Ferreira, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was on loan at Newcastle a little while back.
I
believe so. I'll have to double check that one.
On that one.
Anyway, Facundo Ferreira scoring there. And what else have we got?
Well, Porto 2-1 down at home to Besiktas. Definitely a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah.
Porto, of course, you know, champions of the Champions League a few times in their history, and most recently under Jose Mourinho. Usually a team that we expect to reach certainly past the group stage. But not starting particularly well here. Leipzig, Monaco 1-1. We're about to see Kevin Campbell come on for Leipzig in that one.
Okay.
And Real Madrid 2-0 up against Apoel, and Tottenham 3-1 up at home to Dortmund. Those are the only those are the 3 goals that we've had in the second half so far. Shakhtar, Real, and Tottenham.
I mean, Tottenham looking very good. Campbell, as you mentioned, coming on for Leipzig, a new signing in the summer from Leverkusen. He, of course, has Champions League experience with both Leverkusen and Red Bull Salzburg, I believe, as well. But certainly played for Leverkusen in the Champions League, and he played for Dortmund as well.
Max, I can tell you that the match that we're all keeping a close eye on tonight.
Yes, the one that we've all been watching.
We finally have a goal.
Dear.
If we can get the scores up there, because I know you're all on tenterhooks waiting
Please,
to see
Maribor,
this.
come on, Maribor.
Maribor or Spartak. It's Spartak Moscow who have taken the lead. Can you believe it?
Oh, no.
So the clash of the night, the undeniable clash of the night, has swung Spartak Moscow's way. It's Alexander Samadov.
Samadov, yeah, I've heard about him.
Samadov, the player that Max said we needed to watch out for.
Of course, and I mean,
probably.
It's very surprising considering, you know, how Maribor's defence is. Well, I don't really know how Maribor's defence is.
Well, it's a defence, isn't it?
It's adjectives. It's a defence.
One of the best in the Slovenian.
They tend to play
league.
with 4 or 5 at the back, and meanwhile, to distract you, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi kissing. That maybe didn't happen in real life. I can't confirm.
Speaking of Cristiano Ronaldo, his team has just scored again. Although he has not got his hat trick.
He has not.
No, it's Sergio Ramos.
Sergio Ramos.
Who scored the 3rd goal. So Real now 3-0 up against
Okay,
Apoel.
well, we'll bring you the updated score. We can bring you the updated scores now. 3-0 to Real Madrid against Apoel Nicosia as Emil Forsberg goes off for Leipzig. So a tactical change there as Kevin Campbell, who can play out on the wing, comes on for Emil Forsberg, who does play out on the wing, but another goal. And blimey, if there's one player you would back to score a second goal tonight, it wouldn't be John Stones.
Probably not. But there you go.
It's happened, guys. Yeah,
He's
John Stones
doubled his tally for the night, and it's now 4-0 to Manchester City away to Feyenoord. So a very good night for the citizens there.
Yeah, and maybe the 8-0 will still happen.
John Stones as well, bizarrely, him with a brace. Is that the first brace of his career? It must be.
I would imagine so.
And in the Champions League, no less. Good night for him, for the former Barnsley star.
Barnsley, yes, of course. And he's been heavily criticised in his time at City.
I feel like every defender who's ever played for City has been heavily criticised at some point or another. I feel like it's a bit like with Arsenal, isn't it? They're a team that likes to play kind of attacking football, not too focused on the defence.
Remind me, how are Arsenal doing in the Champions League then?
Yeah, right, they're playing very good, strong attacking football in the Europa League. I'm sorry.
All night long.
I've been instructed by powers that be that Arsenal, no, I'm just joking. Tottenham still 3-1 against Dortmund, as I believe that is Vertonghen charging? No, that's not Vertonghen. It is Vertonghen. Vertonghen charging down the left flank.
Getting clattered by Socrates.
Yes. And they sort of have quite a tender embrace at the end of that tackle.
Mario Götze coming on there.
Mario Götze coming on for Shinji Kagawa. So Kagawa has finished his shift, and Götze, we've seen Götze this season play in a few positions, but most notably under Peter Bosz in the midfield three, which coming on for Kagawa would suggest that either he's playing in a number 10 and they switch the formation, or he is in fact in that midfield three. Where do you think is his best position? We've seen him as a striker as well, and a winger.
Yeah, I still like him as a number 10, just sort of like picking holes in defences. And I think with Dortmund needing a couple of goals here, that's what maybe where we'll see him a bit more advanced than Kagawa was playing. And maybe just a bit further up, trying to support Aubameyang and Yarmolenko and Pulisic. And yeah, I think that's where we'll see him. But remains to be seen. We did hear someone calling for a change of formation.
Yeah, we did.
For Dortmund.
We did.
Changing tactics, and you might have it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Götze, he has played as a number 9 before, or sort of, it's always called false 9 when it's a bloke who's less than 6 foot, really. But be that as may, he has played as a number 9. He started off as a winger, really, for Dortmund mainly, and he can play in the number 10 as well, I think. But right now, occasionally seems to be playing in the midfield 3. I would guess right now it's more of an attacking switch that he's playing as a number 10. Some great comments coming in here. Prabin Rai, I blame Wenger for Messi and Ronaldo kissing on your screen, guys. How about that? Well,
we should have a Wenger out banner, really, shouldn't we? I feel like everybody else has got one. Like, why don't we have one?
Yeah, Wenger.
We do have Wenger here.
Oh, here he is in all his glory. Wenger is out. He has outed himself as a bit of a can-can dancer. So do please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will give you a shout out if you do subscribe, and please don't lie. Please don't lie to us.
Don't make it up.
No, don't make it up. Please. And don't unsubscribe and subscribe. That's also not what we're Just if you are not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, then please do subscribe. Latino Boy pointing out that if John Stones scores against your team needs a slap in the face.
What if he scores twice against your team? 2 slaps in the face?
Yeah, presumably we will continue the trend until John Stones stops scoring, which he does. He looks like he's on fire.
Don't have faces.
John Stones on fire. Your defence is terrified.
Of John Stones.
I know. Here are the scores. Imagine. Liverpool 2, Sevilla 1, courtesy of Firmino and Salah goals. Yeah, and the goal from Sevilla there coming from Wissam Ben Yedder. Maribor shockingly behind at home to Spartak Moscow. They are trailing there. Feyenoord 4-0 behind against City, and 2 goals from John Stones, unbelievably so. Shakhtar Donetsk, on the other hand, are 2-0 up against Napoli, a very good result for them if they can pull it home. FC Porto, though, not having a good night. It's 1-2, so Besiktas are 2-1 up, courtesy of 3 goals scored by Besiktas players, 1 being an own goal. Leipzig 1-1 on their Champions League debut against Monaco. Real Madrid 3-0 up against Apoel Nicosia. And Tottenham 3-1 up against Dortmund. And we will have another quiz for you guys in just about 5 minutes. For those of you who haven't been here for all the show or for long parts of the show, We do have a quiz called Fact or Fiction, and we can show you a little graphic that we've knocked up for it. When I say we, not me. I was not involved in the...
We're not clever enough.
No, and I wasn't...
Look at it, though. Max in all his glory here. Look at this. Fact or fiction. Ta-da! Wonderful, isn't it?
Yes.
It just warms the heart to see that. It's lovely, mate.
Fact or fiction, very simple game. We will give you a statement. We will read you out a Champions League statement. Fact or fiction. Like we did one earlier saying Peter Crouch scored the fastest ever hat-trick in Champions League history. That was fiction because it was actually Bafétimbi Gomis who scored the fastest ever hat-trick in Champions League history. So in about 5 minutes, we'll go delve into another quiz and do some fact or fiction. At the moment, yeah, it's 1-1 Ollie versus YouTube.
4-0, I won the second round of that. Come on.
Yeah, you did quite well.
Whatever. Yeah, I got all 4 right. Quite well.
You know,
come on. 4-1. Yeah.
I will just remind our viewers that you may not Google any of these facts.
Nope.
No. You cannot
if I can't, you
Google them, but it would be nice if you lost. So, just saying, don't Google them, but maybe Google them.
It would be much nicer if I won. I think everybody can agree that.
Lakshya is being very supportive of me. He's saying I've got a wonderful smile in the graphics, so
he does.
So at least
brightens up the room.
At least that's counting towards me. Kevin Campbell there, striding around energetically on the Leipzig pitch. He, of course, can play in central midfield and the wing. So another versatile player that Leipzig has signed this season. Will he be able to score the winning goal? At the moment, Leipzig 1-1 against Monaco, and the scores have been unchanged. Kwame Steele saying, Loris, make a big save, they're saying. He's saying. And, Monaco on a bit of a counter-attack, but that's quashed there by Willi Orban, the Leipzig captain, in centre of defence. Let's take a look then at how Real Madrid, the holders and indeed the favourites by bookies and by most pundits, I would say, are doing. Apoel Nicosia, not the toughest opponent. But
not the toughest team they'll face in the competition this year, or even in the group, because they've got Spurs and Dortmund in their group. But as you can see, they've started this campaign very well, much like they have gone in the last 2 campaigns throughout. Cristiano Ronaldo, who else, scoring goals Champions League goals number 106 and 107 of his career. And Sergio Ramos as well, making it 3-0 to Real.
Okay. Well, we're working very hard to solve the audio problem, guys. Of course, we will be able to do that as soon as possible. And we will have a quiz, of course, at the 3rd and final round of the quiz, a shortened round for you just coming up. But
just so that I can win.
Just, well, maybe so that you guys can win out there. So you guys will be playing against Ollie for the 3rd round. And in a moment, though, let's have a little look at the predictions from the Onefootball newsroom, because they have been predicting ahead of the match. So indeed, some of these predictions will be off. But we can see what they will be, what they did say ahead of the game. And you can compare that with what you thought was going to happen before the game and the scores that we just went through with you. Actually, we'll wait with that for a little while now. Chelsea, remind Arsenal of Sunday's scoreline, 6-0.
Sunday's scoreline?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused by that one as well. Anyway,
no?
we have got a corner coming in for Tottenham, and it's defended by Dortmund.
Dortmund playing with fire here. I know they need to catch up a couple of goals. They're 3-1 down at the moment, Spurs, but they're playing a very high line. They're playing very attacking football. And they're taking a lot of risks at the back there with players like Son and Kane. 3-1, as you can see at the bottom of your page there. We got 3-0 for Real as well. 3 more goals in Portugal. Porto 2-1 down at home to Besiktas. Napoli have pulled a goal back against Shakhtar Donetsk. That goal from Arkadiusz Milik.
Oh, Milik, yep.
Max is a big fan of him. And
not so much since he left Leverkusen.
Well, still, Napoli need the support, Max. They're 2-1 down.
Need the support.
City 4-0 up away to Feyenoord.
And who's been getting amongst the goals there then, Ollie?
Well, as you would expect, Max, the main goal scorer tonight has been John Stones.
Of course, I mean centre-back extraordinaire and goal-scoring aficionado.
Indeed, yes. I can tell you that Leroy Sané has come on for Fernandinho.
Oh yes.
Fabian Delph on for David Silva as well. So City ringing the changes with the match as well and truly won, let's say. with about 15 minutes to go, just over 15 minutes to go in those games. The big game of the night, Spartak 1-0 up against Maribor, and Liverpool 2-1 up at home to Sevilla.
2-1
at
up.
the moment.
Okay.
2-1 up at home to Sevilla. Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino, two of their very, very dangerous front three with the goals for them. Wissam Ben Yedder scoring for Sevilla.
Yeah.
Lots of goals, Max.
Lots of goals, yeah. I mean, kind of like yesterday. I mean, it was a massive match day, an opening match day for the Champions League yesterday, because we had over 3 goals or more, I should say, in every game but one, which was Atletico, who travelled to Rome to face AS Roma, which was we expected that to be a big goal, but it's time for the cheesiness, the smile that never disappoints Lakshya, and it is indeed the smile that means that we are back again for Ollie versus YouTube in another face-off of fact or fiction.
One of the great rivalries, this.
For those of you who haven't played in the past 2 rounds, I'll give you a little update. Ollie lost the first round,
but cheated out there.
Came back in style for the second round to win, and he is now looking to make it 2-1 for the night. I want you guys to stop everything you're doing and focus, and definitely not Google any of the answers. Nope. And let me know if the statement that I read out is fact or fiction, if it's true or false. Let me know. Fact or fiction in the comments. You can type true or false or fact or fiction, whichever way, and I will try and gauge who is what is the sort of dominant answer. I can't, obviously some of you are going to disagree in the comments, but let me know in the live chat. So please let me know. Oh, hold on. I think we have just had another goal. Yes, Sevilla have equalised. Just quickly, Sevilla have equalised 2-2. It's Correa who has scored a thunderbolt of a goal, but Coutinho is readying himself, or is he already on? I'm not sure. Let's double check. Coutinho, apparently he's about to come on. But anyway, fact or fiction, back to the quiz, the most important thing, of course, and every one of you is invited to join in. Let us know in the comments whether it's fact or fiction, true or false, the statement I'm about to read out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with the first one.
Here we go.
Manchester United have the record number of consecutive participations in the UEFA Champions League with 17. Fact or fiction?
That is a tough one, Max, because, Man United, of course, one of the great Champions League teams. Certainly their rise in the Premier League under Alex Ferguson coincided with the inception of the Champions League when it switched from European Cup to Champions League. And you think of the players they've had in that time, the likes of Beckham and Keane and Cole and York, and then you've had, well, who else you can tell me better? Neville, of course, at right back, Schmeichel, Van der Sar, Van Persie. There's all sorts of players in there.
Are you a Manchester United fan?
I'm not, but I am aware that they've had a few decent players.
You appreciate greatness, is what you're trying to say.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh!
I wouldn't go that far at all. However, the question is, have they got the record of consecutive appearances? You would think, with me saying all those lovely things about Manchester United, for pretty much the only time I've ever said anything nice about Manchester United, that I would say yes. I'm going to say no. I think it's fiction. I think Real Madrid have the record for consecutive Champions League participations.
Well,
tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me I'm wrong.
Let me know. Well, hold on. You're saying...
I'm saying fiction.
You're saying fiction. So are a lot of the people in the live chat. They're saying false. So... I think I know...
What?
No, we're just teasing you. It is, in fact, fiction.
It is fiction.
It is fiction. Both YouTube and Ollie. We were just pulling a leg, guys.
These guys.
It is fiction. I won't tell you who it is, though, because we have another... You're going to have another stab at fact or fiction later. There's another team that we'll be suggesting for the consecutive wins.
Okay.
So, fiction. You guys are right, but unfortunately, this guy was right as well. So, Joe, let's see what else we can rustle up.
We've got another question here.
Fiction fun box.
Is this the tiebreaker?
Only 3 clubs have won the UEFA Champions League, fielding local players. Celtic in 1967, Real Madrid in 66, and Steaua Bucharest in a year that I can't read.
What does local players mean?
What does local players mean, Joe?
They're from
Players
that town.
from that town.
All of them, or just like a few?
People on the pitch from the town that the club is named after.
Only
so
3 clubs.
Glaswegians, Real Madrid in that 1966.
The Lisbon Lions, they were called, I believe, that Celtic team. For yeah, they beat Benfica, I believe it was in the final.
No, true or false?
And then we've got what, Real Madrid and Steaua Bucharest.
In the comments,
okay.
just FIFA is saying we're going to win this year.
Who's this?
Just a user, just a
user,
Manchester United fan saying,
right, okay, okay.
Manchester United are going to win this.
All right. But what about this question though, Max? Can it really be that in all of the history of the Champions League and the European Cup, that only 3 teams have fielded a local player, like a player from that town, to win the cup?
Yeah. We're going to jack up the audio a bit. We're going to make it a bit louder, just so you guys can hear us a bit better. Sorry. While you were at it, though, please do, stick with us. You can read the comments down below, the fact or fiction statement below. Only 3 clubs have won the Champions League fielding local players born in that town. In the final, they fielded them, and Celtic, Real Madrid, and Steaua Bucharest are the clubs that are out there for a choice. So, Ollie Moody, what are you saying?
That sounds ludicrous to me. I mean, when I think of some of the teams that have won the Champions League in that time, or the European Cup, and I think of some of the great cities and towns that those teams have been from, I find it very difficult to believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm thinking about, let's say, Liverpool, Manchester United, even just those 2. Chelsea, did they not have a Londoner in the team when they won the Champions League? I think, especially if we're going all the way back to the start of the European Cup, you've got to remember, like now we have lots of players from lots of different countries in every team.
Laksha saying the audio is vastly improved, by the way.
Excellent, glad to hear it. But the way it was back then, of course, was that you would have a lot of players from the local area playing. So if I've understood that question correctly, and I'm not sure that I have.
Or is it the whole 11 that was local?
See, that's a different question.
I believe it is the entire 11.
Is it the entire 11?
I believe it is the entire.
Is it the entire 11? Okay. See, that's
Let's get to the answer.
now I've just been talking nonsense. All right, if it's the whole 11, I'm going to say fact.
Fiction says YouTube. Fact says Ollie Moody, and it is a fact. Very well done, Ollie. Very well done.
Does that mean I win overall?
I think we might have some more questions. We have some more questions. Don't worry.
I thought that was the tiebreak.
Never fear. No, we've got more. The trophy weighs 7.5 kilograms.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is equivalent to roughly 50 footballs. So a double-headed question here. So for one, you have to think, is it fact or fiction that the trophy weighs 7.5 kilograms? And at the same time, do 50 footballs roughly weigh 7.5 kilograms?
Well, footballs are pretty light.
They
so
are
50,
pretty light.
okay, right.
They are filled with a substance called air.
I see. Not aware of this. Can you explain in more detail?
Well, if we were to use
go into the science of it,
the balls would tend to fly higher.
Yeah.
Which would be more suitable for Quidditch and the like.
Yeah.
So these balls are filled with air, and as Ollie Moody rightly points out, they don't weigh a lot.
They don't weigh a lot.
But do 50 of them weigh just 7.5 kilograms? Could you take... Hold on, let me do the maths.
I'm trying to do maths in my head here.
You could take around 200 on your average flight. On your carry-on luggage.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it?
You probably wouldn't fit them in a bag, though.
Would you need 200 footballs for your holiday, Max?
Probably
Would
not.
you for your average holiday?
No, unless your holiday is organising the World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not normally my holiday. I think that's actually a job.
It is quite possibly a job.
I think people do that for a living.
Somebody does it.
Mm-hmm.
Sepp Blatter? No, he's retired.
No, well, he was retired.
He didn't do it.
All right, so is this fact or fiction? 7.5 kilos.
What size ball, says Ahmed Mehmedi? A football. A normal size. Size 5 is the normal size for football. Standard size. Size 5.
Size 5.
So they are saying, a lot of... Okay, I'm getting quite a big answer here. Score for the City game, I will give you in just a moment. It is still 4-0. 80th minute, still 4-0. We will go back to the scores in just a moment.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, so City, as you can see, it's 4-0. Liverpool, 2-2 with Sevilla. They were winning Liverpool, but Sevilla have pegged them back now. 1-0 to Spartak, away to Maribor. Right. What a clash. City 4-0 up, as we just said. John Stones at the double, surprisingly, in that one.
Big scorer. Back in for the Champions League top scorer this season, probably.
And yeah, there you go, eh? A bit of a shock to take on Cristiano and Messi. Shakhtar 2-1 up at home to Napoli. Besiktas 2-1 up, also 2-1 up, away to Porto. Bit of a surprise there. RB Leipzig and Monaco is 1-1. That's Leipzig's debut in the Champions League. Real Madrid, the champions, 3-0 up against Apoel Nicosia. And Tottenham 3-1 up at home to Dortmund at Wembley Stadium, of course. A cracking game there. So, lots of goals. Really good night of Champions League football. A couple of big scores, a couple of really close games, though, to keep you interested right to the final whistle. But I think now that we've been through the scores, we have a question to answer. Do we not, Max?
Yes.
Trophy weighs 7.5 kilos.
Which is equivalent to roughly 50 footballs. So, double-headed statement here. Come on, guys, give me some answers. Is this fact or fiction? The trophy weighs 7.5 kilograms, which is equivalent to roughly 50 footballs. True, fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Let me know in the comments. Ollie Moody, what is your verdict?
Right, okay, so fact. I'm going to say fact. I'm going to say it's true. It seems too ridiculous to be false. So fact is what I'm going for.
Oh, so you're going reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology, see, yeah. Getting into your heads.
Untrue. Now, YouTube is going fiction, especially MRJD. He's saying he thinks the trophy is 7.5 kilograms, but he doesn't believe the 50 balls bit.
Really? Okay. Let's see.
So, what is the answer? Joe will bring us the answer. It is fiction.
No.
Caught you out on this one, Ollie.
Damn it.
The YouTube comment was correct.
Very good. MRJD Pook Gaming.
More like 17.
You spotted it. 17 footballs would already have been.
17 footballs. Is that all it is?
Enough.
Yeah?
I suppose
okay.
A football, maybe it's about half a kilo, a little bit less.
Yeah,
300, 400 grams.
Yeah, a little bit less.
2-2 is the score. So, guys, it's coming down to the wire.
Let's
see what Joe has got in store for us next. So fact or fiction? This is the last question of the night.
Because the games are almost finished. We have to talk about them as well. Okay.
Come on, what's the last question? And then we will go give you all the latest on the games and speak to you about
for the last
match day.
5 minutes.
In 2006, Arsenal produced the best defensive effort in the history of the Champions League, going 10 games without conceding a goal. Fact or fiction, Oliver Moody? Ooh, I'm not too sure.
You know what? As an Arsenal fan, I really should know the answer to this, but I'm having my doubts. It's the pressure of the situation. You know, the pressure of this quiz. It's just getting to me a little bit. So, well, turn your screen away from me then. We don't want our viewers to think that I'm cheating here.
I don't want my viewers to think that they can Google it.
No, absolutely not. But I'm just trying to think, because that year, of course, Arsenal did make it to the final, 2006, in Paris, lost to Barcelona, 2-1 in the final there. My heart was broken. I was in tears for most of the rest of that night, and so I thank you all for reminding me of that cherished memory. Anyway, did Arsenal go 10 whole games without conceding a goal? So that would be 2 semi-finals, let's think, 2 quarter-finals, 2 second round games, 2 round of 16 games, and 4 group stage games. So that means they would only have conceded goals in the first 2 group stage games and the final in the whole competition. Pretty big ask, that. And Arsenal that year just about scraped 4th place in the Premier League. So this was not a vintage Arsenal side that we're talking about. I'm thinking Pascal Sigan, Emmanuel Aboué, Matthew Flamini playing at left back for quite a lot of the season.
Ooh,
it's a tough one, that, isn't it? Philippe Senderos in there as well, along with a couple of great players like Touré and Sol Campbell. Jens Lehmann, of course, in goal for much of that campaign. So it's a tough one. Could that Arsenal team really go that long without conceding a goal? Max, what have you got any insight for me here? Can you help us out?
I'm thinking of a particular team that might have broken the record not too long ago, but I'm not sure. Record.
Max has got the answer.
Is it fact Or was it fiction? Oh, we need to see what the comments are saying.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, let me know in the comments. Fact or fiction, fact or fiction, fact or fiction. They are saying...
I'm going before you tell me what the fans are saying.
I know what they're going. I can see what they're going. It's very yeah.
I'm saying fact.
They're saying fiction.
Ooh.
I believe.
Let's find out then. Let's find out.
I believe it's fiction. It was Juventus Turin, I believe. What? I believe it was Juventus Turin.
Oh God, question about Arsenal as well.
2017, wasn't it? Juventus.
No, I don't think they went as long, did they?
They went for the, well, no, not 2017 then. Yeah, no, the final. What was the final?
The final where they lost
to Real.
To Real. Was that longer? I remember thinking that was shorter, but maybe it was shorter in terms of minutes than rather than games. Anyway, what's the record then? Tell us.
Juventus.
Yeah, but what is the record?
I don't know. All I know is that YouTube has won.
I'm calling fake news on this. I think I've been cheated.
YouTube has won.
Cheated out of my title.
Let's see the jingle again. I'm starting to like it now. It's da-da-da. Ollie Mooney.
There we go.
Oh, very, very embarrassing.
Been cheated. Cheated out of a title here.
I've got a good one for you then.
Right.
After the match, I've got another nice little fact for you guys. But let's go and see what the scores are around the stadiums, stadia in Europe. It is Liverpool 2-2 against Sevilla. Now, a few of you predicted that earlier on in the live chat. So pat yourselves on the back and stay tuned for the Adidas competition. If you're a Liverpool fan or a Sevilla fan, you could enter. I'll give you more details after this. Maribor 1-1, incredible, Ollie.
1-1. Wow!
Maribor
finally the goal we've been waiting for all night there.
And I mean the goal, none other than Boha. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, number 39, Damjan Boha, vintage Champions League effort from him, of course. We've all expected him to be the winner there. And he is, in fact, on the score sheet, and we believe that he has salvaged the point for Maribor, shall we say? At the very least, it looks like it could be a point for them in their opening game against Spartak Moscow.
Okay, and then we've got Man City 4-0 up against Feyenoord away from home. That's a great performance away from home from them. Porto, I've skipped one there, haven't I? Shakhtar Donetsk 2-1 up against Napoli. Poor result for the Italians there. Poor result too for Porto at home to Besiktas, and they're 3-1 down. Besiktas have scored all the goals in that game. Porto's goal was an own goal. The goals from Talisca, Tosun and Ryan Babel. Of course, a Liverpool legend, Ryan Babel, scoring the goals for Besiktas.
And a rapper in his free time.
Indeed. RB Leipzig and Monaco 1-1. Real Madrid 3-0 up as expected at home to Apoel. And then Tottenham against Dortmund, perhaps the most anticipated match of the night. 3-1 to Tottenham in stoppage time now. We are...
However, I can give you an update from Tottenham. I think Vertonghen has just been sent off. He has 2 yellow cards for Jan Vertonghen. I did see the incident. Mario Götze felt he had been touched in the face somewhat aggressively. So there was a little bit of a tussle for the ball. Vertonghen sort of got him there. I won't properly reenact, but he sort of did this, and Mario Götze went down like he'd just been shot, and managed to get a second yellow card for Jan Vertonghen. 2 yellow cards. Goodbye from Jan Vertonghen. That'll be a 1-match ban, won't it?
Surely too late for it to have an effect on this game now, though. It's we're well into stoppage time.
Could still see Dortmund maybe score another goal and reduce the goal deficit there, just for sort of the goal difference. Something we saw Chelsea. Chelsea, well. Yeah, Chelsea did that. Yesterday they won 6-0, but most importantly improved their goal difference. But so
you can see from the graphic there on the Feyenoord Man City game that game is now over. City have won 4-0.
And the match winner is?
The match winner is John Stones.
John Stones
with his brace.
Vintage performance.
Yeah, as expected, centre back John Stones at the double. That's the only match that we've got confirmed as being finished so far, but. And a few games obviously going into the final stages there, right on a knife edge. Liverpool, Sevilla 2-2, Maribor, Spartak, the big game of the night, 1-1. Leipzig against Monaco, also 1-1. So a few games that could still go either way.
There seems to be a Tottenham fan, or at least a non-Arsenal fan in our midst. Here we go with Real Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, putting their differences from their clubs aside and kissing.
For the sake of Onefootball. For
the sake of Onefootball subscription. Guys, get subscribing. Please let us know in the comments if you have subscribed, and I will give you a little shout out. We really appreciate it if you get involved and be part of the Onefootball family. Obviously download the app if you haven't already. That is the beautiful thing about Onefootball. It's not just on YouTube, it's not just on Twitter, it's not just on Facebook. We have our very own app, which is fantastic, and it's lovely and green and special and shiny. And you can get, you can follow your favorite team, you can get up to date with your favorite competitions, you can get notifications from what happens if you're at work, if you're in school, if whatever you're doing, you can get notifications to your phone about your team's news and also when they are playing and if they're scoring.
Yeah. All singing, all dancing app. You got to get it.
You got to get
now.
it.
It's free.
Prabin Rai, he says 26 goals tonight. Who's to blame? Wenger?
Wenger probably to blame.
Probably to blame. Wenger out.
Can we see Mr. Wenger so we can tell him that we blame him?
It's full time in Tottenham as well, and Mr. Wenger here is asking you to subscribe. His beautiful little can. You
can't say no to Arsene, can you?
No, you can't. You can't resist it. Look at that, seductively suggesting you subscribe. So we're coming slowly to the end of our live show, but of course we're still here for a few minutes, and I will tell you more about the Adidas competition as soon as the final whistle has blown and we've gone through all the scores. So do stay tuned for that, guys, because you stand to see a Champions League match with yourself and two mates getting flown out accommodation. I'll give you more details, but that's all in the app. Adidas are doing competition with Onefootball. Here are the scores. So we've got Leipzig and Monaco 1-1. Feyenoord and City, we've got 4-0 win for City away to Feyenoord Rotterdam. And I'm just seeing that Tottenham and Dortmund, the whistle has blown 3-1 and 3-0 Real Madrid against Nicosia.
The whistle has blown. It is full time, so 3-0 to Real Madrid, the final score in that game. We've got a few full-time whistles being blown. Leipzig-Monaco as well now is over. It's full-time there. I don't think there are going to be any late surprises left for us now. I think we're going to see Liverpool-Sevilla end in a draw, which is that a good start for Liverpool? What do you think, Max?
I mean, it's a tricky one. Armand Mehmeti wants a shout. No, Charlie Robinson wants a shout out. Armand Mehmeti saying there was a red for Liverpool. We'll just investigate that one for you. 2-2 against Sevilla. It's not a bad start. I wouldn't say it's not a bad start. It was perhaps not the result that they would have wanted, but he is very correct. Gomez in the 94th minute got a second yellow card. So
big loss for Liverpool in the next game. What do you think,
Alexander-Arnold can come in and do a job in that position.
You mean Trent?
Trent Alexander-Arnold, yeah.
Which is his surname?
Nathaniel Klein, of course, still out injured for a little while.
For a long period. He's not even in the Champions League squad, I believe.
Oh dear. But they can obviously revise that in January, I believe. Not obviously.
We do have a full selection of full times now.
We do.
All the games have come to a close. You can see that here on our scores page. So Liverpool 2, Sevilla 2 was the final score there. A point each for those two teams. A tough start for Liverpool. Maribor, Spartak Moscow. We were all keeping a close eye on this one, weren't we? And stunningly, it finished 1-1. So I think we've learnt a lot, Max, from that game. Learnt a lot about both teams there, haven't we?
We have, and we've learned a lot over the course of this live stream, of course. Vikas Danda saying, live stream was awesome. Keep doing this every Champions League night. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. We've had such a grand time. I'll remind you one more time about the competition that Adidas are doing together with Onefootball. You can find all the details in the app. The app will look like this when you download it, whether it's in the Play Store or the App Store. No matter, you can find us there. It's completely free, and as you can see right over here, there is a phone that will show you what the app looks like, and Adidas have a little competition running. Now, the competition details, I'll just run through them, but you can see them all in the app. Adidas are offering a Champions League experience to the competition winner. If you are over the age of 16 and live in one of these countries, the United Kingdom, Spain, Italy or France, you will be eligible to take part. And if you win, you stand to go to a Champions League group game between the 17th of October and the 6th of December, so quite a lot to choose from. Don't worry if you've got a hectic schedule, you can choose your group game that you want to go to. You will get flights and accommodation as well as tickets for yourself and 2 others, so you can take your parents, maybe your brothers or your sisters or your cousins or your friends, whoever you want, or just a complete stranger you meet on the street, although I wouldn't recommend that one. So get onto the Onefootball app with Adidas and make sure you enter the competition and you stand to win 3 tickets to the Champions League group game later in the year with flights and accommodation included. I mean... And
we're not allowed to enter, Max.
No, we're not going to enter. We won't take the glory. It's all for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a great time. Thank you so much for getting involved in the live chat and subscribing. We've gained a few subscribers. I know a few of you mentioned in the comments that you'd subscribed tonight. So please do keep watching Onefootball videos.
Definitely. We're going to have to do another one of these live streams, Max. You know why? Because I need to regain my crown, my title as the quiz master.
Of course.
I was cheated out of it today, I'm sure.
Many of you...
Next time, I'm going to be winning it back.
Many of you took part, of course, in the Fact or Fiction show, which debuted today with a wonderful graphic created by our own Onefootball team. From all of us here at Onefootball, from the newsroom upstairs, to us here in the studio, and Anthony, Joe, Ollie Moody and myself, Max Merrill, thank you for watching. Enjoy your night, and I'm sure you've enjoyed a goal-laden Champions League match day 1.